Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's your little brother Malaki Macabee Megaton Light Bomb. Y'all see the title. Exposing idols, idolaters, or idolaters, and the falsifiers of the creator's kingdom. CGG is in the building. Let's go. Playing no games. I see y'all up in the chat though. I see everybody up in the chat. Let me shout y'all out real quick. Love and light bombs to everybody. And all praises to the ever-present creator. His presence is what I declare to. You understand? There's been a lot of talk. There's been a lot of, lip fumbling, and there's been a lot of that going on. You dig? One thing I'm hearing more and more now is the creator of everybody's mouth, including those who fancy themselves as our enemies. It's truly marvelous. Sometimes I be sitting back, Kool-Aid smiling, bow-legged in the shoulders, like, wow, look at that. You dig? I heard the homie Spider Lope say the creator the other day. I say, whoa, Spider, where you get that from? The creator. I say, man, look, I know at times it seems like ain't nobody listening, but y'all, everybody listening. You don't unleash this type of light without everybody seeing it. Even if you want to front like it ain't there, or you didn't see it, you can't unring the bell. You feel me? Let me shout y'all out up in here today. We got Serpenti, me, Chinavani, and Goddess, Ema in the building. Love and light bombs to you. Love and light bombs to you. Belinda Brown in the building. Love, light, and healings. Absolutely. Love and light bombs to all. Y'all already know what time it is. You know, the gang don't come to play. We don't come to tiptoe, you know, tulips, mighty cuddle, lip fumble, side jaw. We don't come to do none of that. Just unleash your light. Unleash the light. Shout out to my brother Yahweh King Mikael in the building. Love and light bombs to you out. You already know. Good to see everybody in the building. Absolutely. Bishop X in the building. FG Keys. Y'all easy, baby. Yeah. Y'all know what time it is. Who else we got in the building? My brother Bezel the Oil Light. Bezel the Oil Light. My beloved brother met his brother in the flesh. Him, his mom's. You know what I mean? Excellent brother. Beautiful, powerful spirit. You know what I mean? Bezel, keep going. You already know what time it is, bro. You dig? I'll probably be seeing all y'all soon. You know, me, I get in my little mode. I just be moving around. You know what I mean? Liable to pull right on up in the city near you. You feel me? Love and light bombs to you. Pretty face. Steffi Randall in the building. Yeah. How you doing, love? What's going on with you? How you and your family doing out there in Cali? You feel me? Love and light bombs to you. Your moms, your family. Tell everybody we said love and light bombs. Shalom. Shalom. Just me in the building. Our brother, they got all the archives, all the footage. You know what I mean? Brother got all the backups. You know, we good to go. Love and light bombs to you. What we got in here? Global Purpose. My sister, been rapping to her on Facebook and all that. Very deep, spiritually profound sis. And just found out she been rocking for a minute too. I ain't even know that. You know what I mean? I get into those conversations every once in a while. People like, Malaki, man, hey, I remember you from back so and so. I'm like, dang, for real? That's what's up. You never know who's listening. But at times it feels like ain't nobody listening. You understand? We out here prophesying to the wind. That boy, we're speaking to the wind in this deal, man. But it's all good though, man. The credit's true to my office. I can't complain. And even if I would, I ain't. Big Prince Judah Vaughn, my brother in the building. Man, what is the word, brother? Good to see you. You know what I mean? On back-to-back streams. Good to see that. You already know, bro. Love and light bombs to you. Peace, abundance, and all that good stuff in between. You already know, man. What else we got up in here? FGK all day. Steffi Randall, Bezel the Oil Light. All right, y'all. So y'all already know. Y'all like, subscribe, share. Get all that good stuff popping, man. We here to handle our business today. And hopefully, you know, everybody will be edified. Y'all coming up next month, the gang, we got a present. We got 3 presentations next month. I'll be coming to a city near Val, Bronze. Yeah. I'll be on the turf. I'll be on the home turf next month. Trip already booked and paid for. Yeah, we doing 3 presentations next month, early May, right? On the character of the Creator, hell and the progression after death, and then the last one gonna be over Saul of Tarsus. You know what I mean? Shout out to our sister Ursula. You know what I mean? If any of y'all used to watch back in the day, if y'all remember, I used to do the barbershop chop shops. Yeah. They like, hey, look, Malaki, we need you in the flesh. Come on through. You know what I mean? It's gonna be standing room only, but I'm gonna be live too. There's supposed to be a couple pastors in the building, a couple ministers, deacons. Yeah. I'm gonna light it on fire. You know what I mean? I'm gonna light the strip up in that deal. Y'all already know your little brother. You dig? The megaton light bomb for no reason in this deal. Shout out to Ima Ahuba. Ahuba in the building. City of Compton, Hub City. Love and light bombs to you, Ima. You already know what time it is. Salute to the God. Selah Shalom TV, Owaski Bible in the building. Brother, man, make sure y'all go like, subscribe, share. Like, subscribe, share. Go to his playlist. You understand? Go get you an old Washby and take notes. It's all there. Brother got a whole university right there on YouTube. Going back 15 years, it's all there. There ain't no excuse not to get this light, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to the brother, man. He been laboring a long time. You dig? My brother Bronze. Chop shop classic stuff, bro. Yeah. So we got the throwback chop shops coming next month. So it looked like we about to, the gang about to start traveling. That's my goal to get C-Block, Cal, and Daryl out there too, and we all just travel and get these presentations. A lot of people be like, "Hey man, the videos is cool, but we need you in the flesh." Well, hey, if the numbers is right, let's do it. I'm gonna be in the building selling some of my latest book, From Darkness to Determination. We're gonna have the frankincense and myrrh on deck as well. But we are to bring the light of the ever-present Creator. We here to declare the presence of the ever-present Creator. So it's supposed to be a couple pastors in the building. C-Live, I need you to throw together a flyer for me. I got the address and the dates, the address. I got the whole itinerary and the times and all that. I'll chop it up with you after I get off here. So yeah, y'all got 3 presentations early next month. Trip already booked and paid for. Ain't that something? This wasn't playing. She like, Macabee, what's good? What's up? Oh man, hey, we need you in the building. All right, let's talk plant-based. Now let's talk turkey. Let's talk plant-based. What's the skinny? Big. So shout out to Sis. Y'all might see in the chat in a minute under the YouTube handle Amana. That's Sister Ursula from St. Louis. I've known her a good 15 years. The sister is real spiritual, very influential too, because everybody flocked to her. And she always kept it solid with bro. Kept it solid with me. Always. And one thing I can say about Ursula, she always she never settled in her spiritual understanding and progression. She always looking at something, always reading something. Hey, Mally, did you read this about this? Dang, it's on it. So yeah. Her sister Dorothea and them, they supposed to be putting a flyer together too out that way. So yeah, man, hey, this thing about to turn up. I'm thinking that the gang finna start traveling, because after I go ahead and cause I'm about to light the strip on fire and get me back on the home turf. And it's 3 presentations I'm giving during the whole week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm lighting the strip up. What you mean? Man, look, this is what we do. Somebody better tell these young boys that we do this. Y'all already know what time it is. My sister in the building. Chieftain is key. What's the word, Key? Oh, wait, what is the word? Love and light bombs to you. Love and light bombs to the whole chat. Once again, y'all go ahead and like, subscribe, share. And you know how I do. I want to share something with y'all. It's real short. I want to share something with y'all real quick, and then we're gonna get into the topic: exposing idols, idolaters, and the falsifiers of the Creator's kingdom. Now I can hear the educated Negroes now. It's idolaters, Malaki. I know, but we put our own seasoning on it. We're not bound to we don't speak the King's English. You know what I mean? Like, if we want to call them idolaters instead of idolaters, that's our prerogative. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. Good to see everybody in the chat. CGG Credit Gang is in the building. FGK False God Killers, man. Y'all brothers go too hard out here, man. Shout out to my brother Cosmine Kruger. Shout out to my brother Mayak, my brother Karam. We all was on a platform the other day, and you know how it is. They kept muting me, but Cal love to punch and keep punching. Cal got the patience to talk in circles with Negroes. I don't. I'm about to get up off here. We did, but hey, them brothers ain't too far off. They just had to get punched on. You did. Only in the end to agree with what Cal was saying. I was like, look, I already know that. You know what I mean? So shout out to my brother Cosmine Kruger. You know what I mean? The Raphael Turtle Gang. Shout out to my brother Sheila Shimon Leonardo the Turtle Gang. Shout out to my brother DK Daryl Cosmon, the Donatello of the Turtle Gang. And I'm Mikey, the little brother, Michelangelo. Put a vortex on a nunchuck, pop you and your God in the mouth. Do something about it. All right, y'all. Let me share this real quick. Love and light bombs to everybody. Shout out to the haters, jaw jackers, and naysayers. Yeah. We love y'all too, man. CGG is in the building. Let me present this real quick. Since we in a certain season right now, let me present this real quick. You feel me? Oh, wait. Somebody gonna be mad. Somebody gonna be mad. Good night, man. Good night. Who can guess what that is? What is that? Is that water with algae in it? What is that right there? Because it's a stream of whatever it is. Who can guess what that is? Is it an optical illusion? Is that just mud and the sun is going down in the evening, so it gives a certain shade to it? What the hell is that? Hey, man, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Oh, my God, man. Good night. All right, let me put this in the chat, too, so y'all can go look at it for yourselves. I know. Negroes spilling coffee, foaming at the mouth, claiming they cursing brothers. Not to no avail. We roll with the creator, the God maker. There ain't nothing you can fumble off your negroidal mouth that is of a higher authority than that. You know what I mean? There's nothing that you can say. So we declare everything you're sending against us powerless, motionless, and fruitless. And we expose it to the light of the ever-present creator, the God maker. You gonna look, even the spirits you send over this way under dark influence, that we gonna whoop on them too. They gonna get this light. To no avail. Yeah, y'all, that's blood in the streets. That's not an optical illusion. That's not algae in water. That's blood. Whose blood, Malaki? Was she just waving a damn chicken over? Oh my man, look, leave me alone. What the hell was she doing? And this woman was bowing. Look what she doing. She on her iPhone. Look at Becky. She on her iPhone. It's a woman bowed down. I guess she claims she's getting some type of blessings or something. And she's spinning a dead chicken over the top of her head. Why is she on her iPhone? Hey, man, it's all over but the shouting. I know, you Millie Mouth misfits are mad and August Passover season, and why you talking like that? And look, man, a child can look at this and understand it's off. It's wrong. Only through conditioning do they come to accept, like, oh, okay, gee whiz. But in their natural state before any indoctrination, they know this is off. She on her damn iPhone circling the corpse of a chicken over this woman's head. What is this supposed to be for? A blessing? And look at Heine in the back right here. Over a poor little chicken, man. Just oh my God, man. Let's keep watch this, man. So this is Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. Look at how much blood is in the streets, man. And so these are rites and ceremonies to the creator of suns, moons, and stars, the creator, the God maker, the all-loving, ever-present, all-powerful, all-knowing creator. He requires this? Okay. All that damn blood. hey, man. No different with them Mussolinis. No different with Muhammad Savage. So the Jews have something called Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement, and so do the Muslims. Look at, they have something called Eid or Eid Kippur. Huh? And no, this is blood everywhere. Just so much blood, just blood. Come on, man. You know what I mean? I think we all know better. What is they smiling? Man, y'all, come on now. You know good and well that place stank. Look at all that blood. He's standing in blood. There ain't no way in the world. And don't let Muhammad right here skip the a toothbrush session in the morning. He over here smiling all upside this woman's face, and you know good and well that place smells horrendous. Look at that, y'all. It's skinned goats and lambs just hanging. And they just smiling. They over there just kicking the Willy Bobo. It's all good. Man, look, how is this supposed to be a sweet smelling savor? How does this smell good? This is raw flesh and blood. That's what this is. Good night. Let me drop this video in the chat for y'all. So y'all can, this is crazy, man. Let's keep watching. Let's keep watching. Move this out the way. Let me turn this down. Make sure I ain't. Good night, man. What the hell's going on around here? Man, look at all that blood. Look. Boy, look at the giles. Look at the mug on this cat. How do you think you learn how to kill? You start killing animals first. And if you can, without any type of heart or whatever, just kill an innocent animal for pleasure, for sport, or even for food. You feel me? You naturally grow an inclination for murder, for blood. You become desensitized after a while. You know what I mean? That's a lot of blood, man. That's a lot of blood. Look at this. Look at this. Watch it. Don't forget, Adonai is supposed to be biblical God. Yahweh, Yahweh, El, Allah. Like it's all the same when you're done talking. Allah. See? Look at that. It ain't nothing for you to slit any animal's throat, let alone, man, if you're commanded to. A woman, if you commanded to. This is nuts. And look at it. He about to slit the throat of this poor little lamb, all while smoking a GPC, a Maverick. But y'all want to say the gang done lost a light. We demonic and satanic and all this extra rigmarole, all this foolishness you got spewing off your lips. We the ones telling you, look, man, stop killing. Weapons down. We the ones telling you bloodthirsty warmongers that can't wait for World War III. Weapons down. Look at this.
الله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر
Lord. What? He just chopped the head. They say in Leviticus 2, hey, Selah, the head. Man, he chopped the head off that innocent animal and just dropped his head in the streets like next. Oh my God. Damn blood, man. They out there in duck boots. Hold on. They out there in duck boots. That means they came out there knowing it was about to be a gang of blood, man. They knew it. You see? You got a wicked inclination for blood and killing. You got to check yourself about that, man. Like, check yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're here to expose the idols, the idolaters, and the falsifiers of the Creator's kingdoms. Right? Look at what the idolaters are doing. They're doing this because the God requires it. This is a rite and ceremony. It's like a rite of passage. Start slitting throats. Go get little Jaime. Start slitting throats at 3. Go get little Mahmoud. Start slitting throats and chopping heads at 3. And by the time you get to adolescence, it ain't nothing to kill nothing. Nothing.
So طيبين.
Yeah, they just look Mahmoud and Muhammad Samis, they just out there with their arms crossed, just looking at it. Already desensitized. Hold on. They sacrificed to El. Because Elohim is just a plural form of El. Yeah. It's all over but the shouting. I know. Watch this. His head is just barely hanging on. They done cut the throat of this bullock, this cow. He petting his nose. Is it already dead? Yeah, thank God. This little joker ain't even went through puberty yet. Talking about some thank God. Hamdulillah. Do you enjoy watching animals slaughtered in EID? Yes. Don't you feel scared watching the animals?
When you slit their throat, they don't feel pain?
The way they do it, the knife is so sharp.
Hold on. He said, hold on, man. Hold on. Leave me alone, man. Like just leave me alone.
The way they do it, the knife is so sharp.
No. who we call Yahshua was actually murdered by black-hearted, urine-drinking bastards. We're not even going to compare what happened to him to replacing any of these bloody sacrifices to the deity. Not one.
You're going to kill someone else to atone for your own sins? You're going to accrue more sins?
It's not a sin.
Not a sin. It's not a sin. Yes.
It's brought in the Bible.
It's brought in the Bible. Here we go with this. Okay, Bullock. I mean, I think that's enough for right now. You know, the link is in the chat if you want to go continue to watch that. That's you know, y'all know what time it is with that, man. Let me stop sharing the screen on that one. But yeah. Y'all see the title. Y'all see the title. Exposing idols, idolaters, and the falsifiers of the creator's kingdoms. You know what I mean? And it just is what it is. It just is what it is, man. We can never go over these type of things enough. You can never go over these type of things enough, man. A lot of people be offended. A lot of people be, you know, like, what you mean? You'd have thought people would be more like agreeing, like, oh, okay, I knew, my God wasn't a bloodthirsty warmonger. I knew it. Right? You got people mad at the fact that we let you know now the creator ain't jealous. You know what I mean? He ain't vindictive. He don't hate nations. He don't require blood sacrifices and the chopped off heads of bullocks and cut out organs and cut out fat and chopped off legs. He don't require none of that. He just require you to remove these idols out your heart. Correct? And righteous works or love your neighbor as yourself. That's it. Like, what's the problem? Everybody should say, oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. But to a lot of people, they like, no, nigga, my God said kill. My God said kill, Malaki. So who are you to say he didn't say it? Right? Hopefully we get into a little bit of this today. We show a little something. You know, y'all know the gang, we always working on something. Y'all type of 1,000 in the chat if y'all can see that, if I can be heard. What is the character? All right. There we go. All right there. What is the character of the creator? It's your God and idol. Good night. This ain't even nothing that we, you know what I mean, that we done with like that, but you know, we still putting a few things together. Y'all know how it is. Y'all know how we get down. And shout out to the gang, man. I was doing some counting the other day. I said, man, dang, bro, we got over 100 presentations ready to fly. You know what I mean? I go ahead and reach out and start booking them. But I don't think people really understand what an idol is. You understand? It's your God and idol. Could it have been this whole time that who you've been devoted to, quoted and devoted, holy? Could it be that so-called God who you've been praying to, snotting over, getting your kneecaps dusty, bowing to? What if that God is an idol? Ooh-wee. But you know, it's our job to tell you and replace something greater. We give you the creator. The creator. All right? Let's go with a few basic definitions and all that. This shouldn't even take long today. You understand? But these basic concepts we can never go over enough. We constantly run it through our people's head because trip off this, y'all. If the God is false, then everything you doing is irrelevant. It don't even matter how long your fringes are, how many sisters, how long you ain't been wearing pants, and how long your head's been covered, or how many Passovers you done kept, how many Sabbaths you think you done kept. If the central figure of your devotion is a false god, then everything, you gotta go back to the drawing board with it. Everything you're doing is irrelevant. Spinning your tires in the mud. See, let's go over some basic depth and all that first, and then, we'll get into it. What is the character that credits your God an idol? Source. This is out of Miriam. Let's look up idol first. Idol. What is an idol? An idol is an object of extreme devotion. They say a movie idol also. Idol sense too. All right. Second definition. A representation or symbol. A representation or symbol of an object of worship. Broadly, a false god. Y'all, this is in Merriam-Webster's. They in there talking about the false gods. Look at this. What else does it say? It says a likeness or something. Pretender, imposter, obsolete, a false conception, fallacy, a form. Remember that. Or appearance visible, or without substance. Let's see what the Bible says about this. Is in the biblical definition, the blue letter source. All right, semel from an unused root meaning to resemble, right? And knows what the definition is: likeness, figure, idol, image. Remember that. Remember image. Remember image. Remember that. Because, we're going to talk about some of these images in a second. You understand? Now ask yourself, is there an image of the God I worship? Is there an image? Well, no. He said don't make no graven images, but is there an image? Has your God ever been seen? Are there stories? Are there stories in whatever you read that puts an image on who you've been praying to, who you call God? We can't get past Genesis, the first page, without man being made in the image of God. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Right? That's God. Genesis, the first page. You ask any Israelite or any Christian today, pause them. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Jump down to verse 26, and God said, let us make man in our image. Is that who you worship? Is that who you worship? They all got to say, yeah. Other than that, you compromise from Genesis, the first page. Why would we even believe you if you lick your fingers and jump to the middle of the book? So ask them, is this the God you worship right here? Genesis, the first page. And if the answer is yeah, then God has an image. God has an image. If the answer is no, why are we even listening to you? Why are we even listening to you? Know what it says: likeness, figure, idol, image, statue, idol. What is the New Testament? What are the New Testament definitions of an idol? Eidolon, from an image, likeness, whatever represents the form of an object, either real or imaginary. Used of the shades of the departed, phantoms of the who? The mind. The image of a heathen god. A what? A false god. What does Owaspi say an idol is? Source Owaspi. Question: what is an idol? Answer: anything having form and figure that is worship. That's basically what the secular definitions were saying. Anything that has form and figure that is worship. So in essence, if it can or has been seen and it is worship, then your deity is an idol, aka a false god. And look, y'all, these are just the definitions so far. There's no reason for you to get mad at me or the creator gang. What you mad for? All the definitions say, Anything having form and figure that is worship. Anything. Anything that has form and figure that is worship, right? So what is an image? We're going to image. What is an image? What does the Bible say an image is? It comes from the Hebrew Zalim, right? It says meaning to shade, a phantom, i.e. an illusion, resembling, hence, a representative figure, especially an idol, image, vain show, source, Cambridge. What is an image? A picture in your, where y'all? Mind. Good night. Good night. You don't got an image of what God or Jesus look like in your mind? And if you do, where you get it from? Look at this. An image is a picture in your mind or an idea of how someone or something is, the way that something or someone is thought of by other people. A mental picture is up top, or idea that forms in a reader's or listener's mind from the words that they read or heard. Good night. Good night. So an idol is an image, right? And an image is a picture in your mind. It is a mental picture or an idea that forms in the reader's or listener's mind of what they either read or heard. Is there an image? Does anyone drop a 1,000 in the chat? Drop a 1,000 in the chat, right? If reading the Bible, you get an image of God and Jesus, drop a 1,000 in the chat. Drop a 1,000 in the chat. If from reading the Bible, you get an image, right? Regardless if you saying he's black skin, white woolly hair, red eyes, or if you saying he looked like Cesare Borgia with Rin Tin Tin hair. Remember, an image is a picture in your mind. Huh? And it forms based off what the reader or listener reads or hears. So question, especially dealing with Bible, is there an image of biblical God? Is there an image of biblical God? And if there's an image of biblical God, right? My next question is, drop a 2,000 in the chat if biblical God is worshipped. Regardless, bro, so you talking about IUIC? Hey, look, you see what IUIC did? They took Nathaniel Ray and made that Negro with Jesus on their little pictures. That's Nathaniel Ray on their image of Jesus they be holding up. That's Nate. That's Nate on them pictures. It looked just like him. I think last Passover, this Negro rides in on a damn horse. Or a donkey or something. I said, man, what is he trying to prove? Yeah, let's Nathaniel Ray trying to prove around here, man. So let me get this straight. I see 1,000 and 2,000. Let me get this straight. So there is an image of biblical God and his son Jesus, and they both are worship. Is that the understanding? And we get the image and the worship of biblical God and Jesus from the Bible, either what we read or what we hear. Understand? We get an image and we get the worship. The question is your God an idol? Somebody mad. I know. Well, let's read this. Who is this right here? There he is. Who was that? Who was that? Remember, an image is a mental picture. It's a picture in your mind based off what you read or what you heard. Well, let's see what kind of, if this image is correct based off what you read. Who was that? Who is this supposed to be? Revelation chapter 1, verse 14 and 15. Revelation 1:1 says the revelation of Jesus Christ. So this is supposed to be an image that the reader formed in his mind based off him reading the book of Revelation. Revelation 1:14 and 15. You know what I mean? 14, his head and his hairs were white like wool, and white woolly hair. The hairs on his head, including his face, which is part of his head. White and woolly, okay. As white as snow, and his eyes was a flame of fire. Get that right there. Red eyes. Okay. And his feet like a fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice is the sound of many waters. So his skin, not just brown, it's dark brown. This is an image of Jesus, right? Well, brother, that's just a depiction. That ain't really Jesus. That's not the point. Regardless if you say that's him or not, that's an image that forms in the reader's mind. Basically saying the artist that sketched this and drew this wouldn't have been able to do it had not have been written down about the form and figure. You understand? Or about the description of who Jesus is. Now, don't forget what an image is. What's an image? What's an image, Malachi? Don't forget, an image is an idol is an image. You just went over the definitions. And what's an image? A mental picture, idea that forms in a reader's or listener's mind from the words that they read or hear. And that's why you got mealy mouth misfits like the Zodiac still argue, if Jesus is black or white. This is right there. Yes, there is an image of biblical God. There is an image of Jesus. Don't say Jesus is the Father. Nonetheless, there's an image of him. Barack, you over here. First name Willie. You just bought a pack of backwoods in his back pocket. Here you go, clouded, man. Y'all clouded. So that is an image. There is an image of Jesus. There is an image of God. Yes, there is. You can't read the Bible without getting it. That's why people argue to this day whether Jesus was black or white. They use the Bible to prove that point, right? Whether it's vocab Malone monkey ass or whether it's Zodiac. Good night. Let's keep going. Okay, what verse is this? The book of Daniel. The book of Daniel 7, 9, and 10. I beheld to the throne. Me out like this. An image, an idol is an image, and the image is a mental picture that forms in your mind based off what you done read or what you done heard. Correct? I beheld to the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the head and the hair of his head like the pure wool. That's what this is an image or a depiction of supposed to be Jesus' daddy. So white woolly hair just like Jeebus, right? Right? His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, y'all. That's millions. And 10,000 times 10,000, 100 millions stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books wrote. Ancient of Days and the Son of Man. Daniel 7. Look at that. A man sitting on a throne. There are those that minister before him. All these people are men sitting on chairs, thrones, white garments, white woolly hair. You ain't making none of this up. Yes, there is an image of biblical God. Absolutely. Okay, well, let's go to Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 6, 1 through 2. Verse 5, in the year that King Uzziah died, this is what Isaiah say, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne. Now the Lord is supposed to be Yahweh, Yahuwah, Ahaya, whatever you want to say. Because you'll read this instead of saying Yahweh, you'll say Ahaya. So it's still biblical God when you done talking, right? Know what it says. It says, in the year the king Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up. And his train, or the hem of his garment, filled the temple. Above it stood the seraphims. Each one had 6 wings. With twain he covered his face, with twain he covered his feet, with twain he did fly. Verse 5, then said I, woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of people of unclean lips. For mine eyes, this is what Isaiah said, for mine eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Based off what's described in the Bible. Remember what the image is. It's a mental picture that is formed based off what someone reads or hears. So the artist that drew this, you understand, drew it based off of the information that was provided in Isaiah. Yeah. And he's gray or silver. You know what I mean? He gray or silver. He ain't even. That's crazy. Let's keep going. Revelation. Back to Revelation. Revelation chapter 4. Revelation chapter 4. Notice, y'all, all these are men sitting on thrones. All of them. They're all men. They're in the form and figure of men or mortal sitting on a throne. I'll go to Revelation 4. Revelation 4, 2 through 4. If y'all get some understanding so far, drop a 3,000 in the chat for your little brother. We'll slow roll it. It's real easy. You know what I mean? And this is something I'm still working on. I got so much more to add to it. I figure I'd jump on and share a little taste. You know what I mean? Revelation 4, 2 through 4. And immediately I was in the spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven. And one sat on the throne. And he that sat was to look upon. Hold on. There he is right there. There he is right there. Regardless, you want to argue about if he got so much concentrated forms of carbon and melanin, that ain't the argument. The argument ain't about phenotypes and all that. That is your God in the form and figure of a man sitting on the throne. Is that the creator? And is this deity or God worshipped by you? These are the questions we ask. A throne, this is, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine. And there was a rainbow. There go the rainbow right there. And there was a rainbow round about the throne, and spiked like unto an emerald. And round about the throne were 24 seats. Look at that. Sure is, boy, they over there chilling. Look at this, 24 seats. And upon the seats I saw 24 elders sitting. There you go. There you go. And this is supposed to be God right here. This is supposed to be who you going to see once you cross over. Yeah. Yeah. Clothed in white raiment, they had heads and they had on their heads crowns of gold. Good night. Good night. Okay, so let's remember. Let's remember what we're talking about here. Remember, an idol is a likeness or an image of devotion. An image is a mental picture or an idea that forms in a reader's or listener's mind from the words that they read or heard. So, let's speak in layman's terms, brothers and sisters. Speak in layman's terms. If you can see your God, or if your God has been seen, and you worship that God, it is an idol. It is an idol, or AKA a false God. Good night. Good night. Isaiah say he saw him. Daniel say he saw him. John the Revelator say he saw him. Whether it was Jesus or God sitting on the throne. Yeah. Yeah, you run around talking about false gods and idols and that's idolatry. Here you go. You got the nerve to twist your mouth talking about what's idolatry, and you trip about this. You eyebrow deep in it. You eyebrow deep in idolatry and got the nerve to call somebody pagan. You eyebrow deep in it. Got the nerve to diss somebody else's religion or way of life. You eyebrow deep in it. Huh? Every last one of y'all dealing with some type of image. There's some type of image that forms in your mind. If it wasn't, you wouldn't be arguing over if Jesus and God was black or white. The only reason you arguing it because there is an image that forms in your mind based off what you read or what you heard. He's black. Jesus from Nova Scotia. Jesus is a white man. Y'all, it's all idolatry anyway. Right? You turn to God and you think this God is the creator. Whether he blacker than Yaki Kodo, or whether he whiter than snow, whether he got woolly hair or Rin Tin Tin hair. It can be, your God can be seen. Yeah. Your God can be seen, and when you say God, you're thinking of the one who created the heavens and the earth. So when you say God, we understand that you are assuming that God is the creator, the God maker, the maker of suns, moons, and stars. But we ain't gonna lip wrestle with you. We know what you're saying. All right. The problem is you believe that what you reading about in Revelation chapter 4, what you reading about in Isaiah chapter 6, 1 through 2, or what you're reading about in Daniel 7, 9 through 10, or what you reading about in Revelation, the first chapter, 14 through 15. Who you reading about is who you worship. If I ask you, do you worship Jesus, and you are of the ilk of vocab alone, you're going to say, hell yeah, sure. Gee whiz. If I ask you, do you worship God that Daniel was describing in Daniel the 7th chapter, you're going to say yes. If I ask you, do you worship God that Isaiah is talking about in Isaiah the 6th chapter, is that the creator? You're going to say yes. We're not going to play the game. If I ask you, do you worship God, and you deal with the New Testament that's described in Revelation chapter 4, sitting on a throne, with a rainbow around it, with 24 elders surrounding them, guess what you're going to say? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Not knowing that God, it has been seen. It's in the image. It has form and figure. An idol is anything that has form and figure that is worship. If you can see it and you worship it, it's a false god. It's an idol. Good night, boy. Good night. If you can see and you worship it, then it is an idol or a what? A false god. Okay, well, let's maybe I'm reaching. Let's go deal with gods in different localities. Let's go into Egypt. Let's go into Kemet. Source, worldhistory.edu.com, the Hall of Truth. Osiris and the Judgment Hall of Ma'at. And this is Osiris all the way over to the right, this green guy. You Egyptians ain't got a leg to stand on either. Y'all love to run y'all mouth about Bible thumpers. Big, but y'all don't got a leg to stand on. Who the hell is all these men and beings with bodies and animal head? You ain't got the nerve of you Cometians to twist your negroidal mouths and talk about who's false and that's idolatry and that's pain. The nerve of you to even open up your mouth and say any of that. Because who is this right here? The chief deity in Kemet is Osiris, Asar. And notice he's sitting on the throne as well. But he's green. And he has on a bodysuit. Boy, in spandex. So what's the difference between Osiris in the form and figure of a man sitting on a throne, and biblical God. He's in the form and figure of a man sitting on the throne. Revelation chapter 4. Isaiah chapter 6, sitting on the throne, form and figure of a man. Daniel chapter 7, 9 through 11, or 7 through 9, 9 through 10. The form and figure of a man sitting on the throne. So what's the difference? They all can be seen. They all have an image. And just think about the inspiration that was on the cat that drew this judgment hall of my eye. Remember, an image comes from either what you've read or what you heard. Think about the inspiration that whispered in the artist's ear to draw this. Go figure it out. This cat is green, y'all. What do they all have in common? They're in form and figure of men sitting on a throne. Look at this. The Hall of Truth. The Hall of Truth, often referred to as the Hall of Ma'at or the Hall of Two Truths, is a central concept in ancient Egyptian afterlife beliefs and mythology. Hold on. Afterlife. Afterlife. Spirit world. Good night. It's the location where the deceased heart is judged to determine their worthiness for the afterlife. So you Cometians ain't got no leg to stand on either. Wasp be exposed to false gods everywhere. It ain't just Bible, everywhere. If you look at it, if it has form and figure, you can see it and it's worship, then it's an idol, a false god. I know. Okay. Source, wiki. El, the Father of God. There he is right there. El. Singular form of Elohim, y'all. And El is in the form and figure of a man. An ugly man at that, but sitting on the throne. Look at that. They all sit on thrones and they all look like, or have the form and figure and look like men. All of them. El is a what? A Northwest Semitic word, meaning God or deity, or referring as a proper name to any one of multiple major ancient Near Eastern deities. Good night. Although El gained different appearances, really, and meanings in different languages over time, it continues to exist as Il or El. And compound proper noun phrases such as Ishmael, Israel, Samuel, Daniel, Raphael, Mikael, Gabriel, originally a who? A Canaanite deity known as El, or Il, the supreme god of the ancient Canaanite religion. This is a god that was already being worshipped in Canaan. Well, Israel got up in there, right? You in Canaan's land. Your ancient Hebrew is the same script as the Canaanite script. Same exact script, same letters, same 22 letters. Aleph, Bet, Gemel, Dalet, Hey, right? Draw them the same way. You even are calling on the names of Canaanite gods in the land of Canaan. So what you gonna say? That's not much, it's a different El. Not my El, it's a different El. Okay, I mean, that's what you're saying. We'll let you roll with that, but El is still in the form and figure of a man sitting on a throne. And how the hell are you in the land of these people, speaking their language, naming your children after them, and calling on their gods? And we supposed to think, oh, this is just a big old coinky dink, that really don't mean that, that really don't mean that. That's something different. Huh? The nigga next door to you calling on the same God you calling on. Look at it. El is listed at the head of many pantheons. Good night. In some Canaanite and Ugaritic sources, El played a role as father of the gods of creation. So they saying this slant-eyed bastard right here is the creator. they say dude the creator. Being the form and figure of a man sitting on the throne. Y'all make no mistake about this El, that's historical. That's historical. You know what I mean? El has a form and figure. Yahweh or Yahweh has a form and figure. Osiris, the green god in a damn bodysuit in Egypt, has a form and figure, and they all sitting on thrones. Every last one of them. Look at this. In some Canaanite and Ugaritic sources, El played a role as father of the gods of creation or both. Eventually, El's cult became central to the ethnogenesis of Iron Age Israelites. Y'all, we talking between 1500 and 1000 BCE around that time. El, so we can't act like they up in the Israelites are up in the land of Canaan calling on El, but it's not this guy. Can't act like that. But don't worry, we're gonna clear it up. We're gonna give you something greater. We're gonna give you your creator. We're gonna get your creator. The beautiful thing about all this, there ain't no image of the creator. Not one. Why? Because the creator is unseen and yet ever present. Ever present meaning everywhere at once, but unseen. Not in the form and figure of a man, so you can't draw a picture of it at all. And that's the beautiful thing about the gang and what we bring up. You know what I mean? We put a distinction between the creator and the gods, whether it's true God or false God. That I'm gonna read that again. It says El's cult became central to the ethnogenesis of Iron Age Israelites, but so far, scholars are unable to determine how much of the population were El worshippers. What do you mean you can't determine how many of the Israelite population worship El? El worshippers. It's more likely that different locales had different views of El. Like El right there in Canaan, though, y'all. No getting around it. They all in the form and figure of men. I'll put them together. I say, dang, that's crazy. All of them, and they all sitting on thrones. They go Osiris, green ass, sitting on throne. There go Yahweh sitting on the throne. Yahweh in Revelation, the 4th chapter. And remember what an image is. An image is a mental picture. We just went over the definition. An image is a mental picture that's formed in the mind of a reader based off what they read, or a listener based off what they've heard. In other words, there would be no artwork of biblical God if there wasn't a form and figure described of biblical God. You wouldn't be able to draw a picture there. That's why you can't draw an image of the creator. Ain't possible. The creator's unseen, not in the form and figure of a man. You can't get past Genesis, the first page, without what? Without what? God making man in their image. I say there because it say, let us make man. And that God is biblical God. That's who you worship. But really, it's polytheistic right in the beginning of it. You know, that's a whole nother topic. You know what I mean? Revelation 4 describes a form and figure of God on the throne. Isaiah the 6th chapter describes the form and figure of God, the Lord, on a throne. Daniel the 7th chapter, 9 through 10, describes the Ancient of Days and the Son of Man as men sitting on a throne. Down to what they heard looked like was woolly. Revelation the 1st chapter, this supposed to be Jesus right there. All right? His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes was a flame of fire. And his feet like an fine brass as if they burned in a furnace. supposed to be Jesus, but you wouldn't be, the orders wouldn't be able to draw that had not Revelation, the first chapter, said that about who you worship. See that? Don't forget what an image is. We went over the definition. What is an image? A picture in your mind. It's in your mind first before it's drawn, before it's carved. An image, a picture in your mind, or an idea of how someone or something is, the way that something or someone is thought of by other people. A mental picture or idea that forms in a reader's or listener's mind from the words that they read or hear. Cambridge.org dictionary. So yes, biblical God is an idol. He has been seen. Are you saying that God is Jesus or his Father? They're in the form and figure of men, and they're all sitting on the throne. Don't forget, an idol is an image. We went over the definitions earlier. Let's not forget. Let's not play silly. All right, down to Osiris. The form and figure of a man sitting on the throne, correct. All right, down to El. El right there. What are you doing? Sitting on the throne. Form and figure of a man. Let's get into El. El was worshipped in the land of Canaan. El, in singular form. We know we got Elohim in the Bible, but we got El in the Bible too. We got El in the Bible. All right, let's go into some of the Bible verses. Genesis 14, 18 through 20. Y'all getting some understanding so far? Drop a 4,000 in the chat, man. CGG is in the building. CGG is in the building. Check the chat real quick. Shout out to my brother Cosmine Kruger, the Cloud Kicker is in the building. That's right, you bring them, we raise them. Y'all already know what time it is. I go over there, like, subscribe, share to my brother Cosmine Cal TV. I go over there and subscribe to my brother LeBron Joe Report. You know what I mean? Yeah, 4,000, man. We ain't playing no games right here. Y'all know what time it is, man. So let's get into Genesis 14, 18 through 20. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High El. This is in the land of Canaan, y'all. Salem is Jerusalem. In the land of Canaan. All right. The blue letter there is H410. If it was Elohim, it'd be, which is just plural of El, it'd have been H430. It was 14. It's El. So Melchizedek or Melchizedek was the king of Jerusalem and priest of El. El Elyon, Most High God. But we can't act like that El wasn't worshipped in Canaan and that El wasn't worshipped amongst the forefathers of the Israelites. How are you going to say that when it's right in the Bible? Look at this. Verse 19. And he blessed them, and Melchizedek or Melchizedek blessed Abraham and said, blessed be Abram of the Most High El. The Most High God, El Elyon. Blessed be Abraham of El Elyon, the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth. Verse 20. And blessed be the Most High El, the Most High God, which have delivered your enemies to your hand. He gave him tithes of all. Look at that. Yes, El is worshipped in the land of Canaan by Israelites. Anybody that, act crazy like, or the Canaanites worship El, but Israelites didn't. That ain't what the Bible says. Now the hell you in Canaan's land speaking this language, calling them gods, naming your children after them, naming your angels after them. And even Canaan got a holy of holies up in there too. They're temples. You in the land of Canaan doing exactly what they doing, but this ain't who you talking about. This ain't who you talking about though. Try to pull that off with some type of detective. They'll laugh your ass to scorn and tell you, look, you going to jail. We're about to lock you up. Go ahead. There you go. You're in Canaan's land, speaking his language, naming your children after his gods, calling on his gods, and in his holy of holies. But this ain't the same thing. El ain't the same El. Make that make sense. You know, I don't know, make a lick of sense. Of course, blue letter. Yesterday, anybody think H410 is not L? Strong's 410. It's easy, man. You just gotta. That's why we always stress know the character of the creator. That's what you need to know. Know the character of your maker, man. You feel me? That way you can't be fooled, no matter what name is spewing off your mouth. You know what I mean? No matter what names you spewing off your mouth. That's just what it is. So y'all see we slow rolling and we proving it. Look at this L, shortened from H352. Strength as adjective, mighty, especially the L Almighty. Are used also of any deity. Do y'all see that right there? Do y'all see that? Any deity. Now the creator is not a deity. God, goodly, great idol. Mighty one, power, strong, compare name to El. Well, Abraham technically wasn't no Israelite, Malachi, so you know. Okay, so now we gonna deny that all of this we just read? Just because you in denial, shout out to my brother Cosmon, he said denial is not a river in Egypt. Denial is not a river in Africa. Look at this. And let's go to Genesis 33, dealing with Jacob, Israel himself. Look what he did in Genesis 33 and 20. And he erected there an altar and called it El, Elohe Israel. That's Genesis 33 and 20. Genesis 35 and 3. And let us arise and go up to Beth-El, which means house of God, house of El. And I will make there an altar unto El, God, H410, who answered me in the day of my distress and was with me in the way which I went. Verse 7, Genesis 35 and 7. And he, Israel, Jacob, and he, Israel, built there an altar and called the place El, Beth-El, because their God, El, appeared unto him when he fled from the face of his brother. That would be Esau. Genesis 35 and 11. And God said unto him, I am El. I am God. I am El, Almighty. El Shaddai. Be fruitful, multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee. Kings shall come out of thy loins. Nice. All right. El and Yahweh are different. Oh, okay. Well, you know, there's a lot of spots in the Bible that say Yahweh is El. Okay? Historically speaking, they are two different beings. They are. When you get to the Bible, they're conflated together. They're combined. You get Yahweh Elohim, or Yahweh El, or Yahweh El. Yeah. And this is all in the land of Canaan. Source, Wiki. Look at Yahweh, boy. Look at that. And notice he's sitting on a throne with wheels on it. They got wings on it. All this stuff is historical. Well, even if you didn't want to believe the pictures that the artist drew in Isaiah 6 and Daniel 7 and Revelation chapter 4, and even if you ain't want to believe that, in history they got an image of Yahweh. Huh? God sitting on a throne. Dang, boy, what is going on here? Royal spandex, absolutely. Look at that. A god on the winged wheel coin, minted in Gaza City, southern Cilicia, during the Persian period of the 4th century BCE. It possibly represents Yahweh. And if you know the Hebrew, look at the letters right there. That says Yahoo. That's the Yod, Hey, and the Y. That says Yahoo. You know what I mean? Yahweh. Good night. All right, that's the ancient Canaanite script right there. This symbol all the way to the far right above this bird is the Yod or the Yod. Symbol next to it is the Ha, the Hey. Now over here on the other side of his head is the Wa. Good night. Good night. Possibly represents Yahweh enthroned. Look what it say. It says he's enthroned on a winged wheel. It has been described by Stephen Herbert Langdon as the only known representation of Yahweh. Dang, that's on the thumbnail I put up too. Don't worry about it. No reason to spill your coffee and get mad. We're going to give you something greater, your creator. All right? You find out there ain't no image for the creator. So the creator is not an idol or a false god. Because you can't make an image of him. Can't make an image of a creator. The creator is unseen, ever present. So everywhere at once and yet invisible. Good night. Good night. Look at this word. Yahweh was an ancient Levantine deity worshipped in Israel and Judah as the primary deity and the head of the pantheon of polytheistic religion of what? Yahwism. So what do you mean? Like, notice today, Yahweh Bahashem HaMashiach Yahweh Shah, Yahweh. Right, and even according to the history, Yahweh was a Levantine deity that was worshipped in Israel and Judah. We can't get around that. To this day, Israelites call on Yahweh. That's the image of Yahweh. Going back to the 4th century BC. BCE. Yahweh is Israel's God. El is too. El is too. Because when you get to the Bible, they've been combined together so to bring more confusion and keep you more deceived. Though no consensus exists regarding the deity's origin, scholars generally hold that the deity, Yahweh, is associated with who, y'all? Seir. Like Mount Seir? That's Edom. Esau and Edom. Quran and Teman. So Yahweh is associated with the Edomites before he even gets into the land of Canaan and is worshipped amongst the Canaanites and Israelites. Ball game. Ball game. Ball game. What are we talking about? What are we even talking about here? Huh? You mean to tell me the very Edomites you hate were worshiping your God before you? Good night. Huh? Yahweh or Yahweh and El, y'all, historically speaking, are two separate deities. Yahweh eventually became associated with the land of Canaan. That's crazy, boy. Man, you run around here hating Esau. That nigga was worshiping your God before you. You run around here hating the Canaanites and curse speak Canaan, but you speaking his language in his land, naming your children after his gods and calling on his God. Yeah, I be trying to tell bros and them, like, look, you're on a sinking ship, man. It's time to come on home. That's it. And I know it's all uphill to swallow, man. I know. Trust me, I know. You know what I mean? But you got to dig down deep and really do some soul searching, like and reevaluate. It's time to take inventory. It's time to go back into the drawing board and really talk about what is this we calling on? Who is this we calling on? What is this we really doing? How you know that who you've been calling on ain't an idol this whole time, Jack? How you know? The history on it and then put the Bible on it, bro. It's saying the same thing. They was worshiping El, then Yahweh. These are Canaanite deities, but Yahweh was associated with the Edomites before we even got into Canaan. Man, what is we even talking about around here, man? We look so goofy. Look so goofy running around here hating white folk. Who you call Esau the Edomite? Well, hell, Yahweh was associated with them before he even got to the land of Canaan to be associated with you. Huh? And we got Abraham worshiping the El, Melchizedek worshiping the El, Jacob worshiping the El. Remember, he told Moses that by the name of Jehovah or Yahweh was I not known to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I was known by God or El, Almighty, El Shaddai, El. And all these gods are in Canaan. And that's crazy. Like that's something you don't just sneeze at. Ain't nothing you just sweep up under the rug like, oh, that ain't my Yahweh or Yahweh, that ain't my El. And I'm talking about somebody different. How? The man next door to you calling on the same God, naming his children the same names. Huh? Now you're writing the same script. Same rites and ceremonies. What are we talking about? How is this not your God you talking about? Huh? What is we talking about here? And then you hating Esau. God hates Esau and loves Jacob. That's the narrative, right? But how many knew that Yahweh or Yahweh was associated with Edomites before he was even associated with Israelites in the land of Canaan? Huh? How many of y'all knew that? If you knew that, drop a 5,000 in the chat. If you didn't know it, drop a 1,000 in the chat, man. Let's see who all knew these things. You know what I mean? And again, what are we noticing? They're all in the form and figure of men sitting on thrones. Remember that, man. You dig? Remember that before you get to spewing all this hatred out your mouth about the other nations and you know what I mean, whose God is false and all that. Bro, you know how goofy the Israelites look right now? These look goofy. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like you don't even, I heard Yahweh Bash. Like shut up. You don't even know what you're saying. You ain't know what you're talking about. Bro, look, you ain't nothing but another faction of the Canaanite gods. Ain't nothing but another faction of Canaan. That's it. Good night, boy. You ain't got no room to hate nobody. Sit your monkey ass down somewhere. Because you look goofy. You look goofy. I'm pretty sure the scholars are sitting back laughing at all so-called black Hebrew Israelites. I hate that damn term, but the black Hebrew Israelite, you know what I mean? But I know every scholar sitting back laughing. Like, what the hell are they talking about? For one, Yahweh and El are two separate deities. You only the writers of the Bible combined them. Later on and made them one. Huh? Yeah, Abraham, Melchizedek, Jacob, they all worship El. Yes, in the land of Canaan. Good night, boy. I see 1,000s all in the chat. That means they never, you brothers and sisters didn't even know this. They didn't even know that Yahweh was associated with Esau, Mount Seir, Edom, the land of Edom, Paran, and Teman. Teman is a grandson of Esau, the Edomite. Mount Seir is where Esau, the Edomite, dwelt at. It's the land of Edom. And then later, Yahweh became associated with Canaan. Come on, man. I ain't, long. And see, this is the gang trying to let y'all know we're here to put a difference. There's a distinction between the creator and the God. right? That should make sense by now. That should make sense. Like, okay, that's what y'all saying. Yeah. And you can't put an image on creator. Right? You can put an image on a God, whether it's true or false. Put an image on God. But God is who you become, not who you worship. Let it sink in. Let it sink in. God is who you become. God is not who you worship. God is just big brother. God is just big sister. They were one time living ancestors. They crossed over and rose to that rank of a God or a goddess. That's it. That's why they're in the form and figure of men. Right? But see, you're not supposed to worship God. So if they're in the form and figure of men, they can be seen, right? Or have been seen and are worshipped. That makes them idols or false gods. The angel ambassadors that rode with the creator will never accept your prayers or allow you to worship them. They just inspire you to righteous works, to love your neighbor as yourself, because that's the system in order for resurrection, not only in earth, but in the heavens. Right? Their job is to get you trained up, right, in righteousness, love, and good works, so you can take their spot, so they can continue to raise up. Because there's countless worlds of the creator. Countless. False gods got you thinking it's just the earth in space, and you're sitting on a frisbee. Look at the game. Look at the game that the false gods have played on. Right? You think it's just the earth. You think that God or the creator stopped creating, took a day off and rested. The creator never stopped creating. It's countless worlds. Did I just say that? Did I just say something wrong? Scholars generally hold that the deity Yahweh or Yahweh is associated with Seir, Edom, Paran, and Teman, and later with Canaan. The deities, look, they on Wikipedia calling Yahweh a deity. The deities worship reaches back to at least the early Iron Age, likely to the late Bronze Age, if not somewhat earlier. So this worship don't even go back to the beginning. Look at this. In the oldest examples of biblical literature, Yahweh possesses attributes that were typically ascribed to deities of weather and war. Good night. Fructifying the land of Israel and leading a heavenly army against the nation's enemies. The early Israelites engaged in polytheistic practices that were common across ancient Semitic religion, as their worship included a variety of Canaanite, come on y'all, Canaanite gods and goddesses such as El, Asherah, Asteroth, and Baal. These are Canaanite gods, you call it on. In later centuries, El and Yahweh became conflated. Later on down the line, you know what I mean? They decided to combine Yahweh and El together, even though historically they're two separate deities. Here you go, talking about some Yahweh Elohim, Yahweh Elohim, Yahuwah, Yehovah, Ahia, whatever you're saying, it's still biblical God. It's a deity. He's in form and figure of a man. He's worshipped. We ain't making this stuff up. And El-linked epithets such as El Shaddai came to be applied to Yahweh alone. El Shaddai means God Almighty. Look at this. Characteristics. You know the character of your creator? Characteristics of other deities such as Asherah and Baal were also selectively, who selected the characteristics of other deities to attach to Yahweh or Yahweh? It means selectively. Characteristics of other deities such as Asherah, which is Asteroth, the goddess, the false goddess, and Baal, the false god, were also selectively absorbed in conceptions of who? Yahweh. And at times, y'all, especially when you read Owaski, Asteroth, Baal, all of them were gods of Israel at certain points, and Yahweh, all of them were different gods. And at times, they all had different inspirations and rulerships over Israel. Yeah. It's all over but the shout. You on a sinking ship. It's time to come home, Mark. That's all I be trying to tell my brothers. It's time to come home. What are we talking about over here? And monotheistic Judaism, meaning the worship of one God, the existence of other deities was denied outright. And Yahweh was proclaimed the creator deity. Wow. And the sole deity to be worthy of worship. During the Second Temple period, Judaism began to substitute other Hebrew words, primarily Adonai. We heard them on the video in the beginning of the video. They were singing the Adonai, meaning my lords. By the time of the Jewish-Roman wars, namely following the Roman siege of Jerusalem and the concomitant destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE, the original pronunciation of Yahweh's name was forgotten entirely. So we look goofy even though you know how to pronounce his name. The pronunciation of it was lost entirely by the time Rome sacked Jerusalem. That's why you got them today, people call them Hashem, Adonai, all that. They all minions. They're all sitting on thrones. What's that? Yahweh on a throne. Sitting in the throne. Think it's a game. Look at El, Father of God, sitting on the throne, in the form and figure of a man. Look at Osiris, the green spandex god. He got gangrene, man. This boy got some damn loud bodysuit on. Nevertheless, in form and figure of a man, sitting on the throne. Right? Right? Got hell worship in the land of Canaan by the forefathers of the Israelites. Right? There is him downstairs, y'all. This is Baal. Hey, man. Hey, this your boy Baal right here, man. Uncle Baal. Hold on, man. Hold on, man. And is he sitting in a chair too? He's sitting on the throne as well. He's sitting on the throne as well. Statue of Baal Haman on his throne with a crown and flanked by sphinges, 1st century. It's all over but the shout. It's all over but the shout. I'm gonna read my old Uncle Baal. Hey man, y'all gotta leave me alone out here, man. If y'all get some understanding, y'all drop a 7,000 in the chat. Drop a 7,000 in the chat for your little man. All right. Exposing idols, idolaters or idolaters, and the falsifiers of the Creator's kingdom. That's a good question, Key. I wonder if they was all fat, always sitting down. That's a good one. Okay, come on, y'all. What's up with all this? They all on thrones. They all look like men. Meaning they can be seen. Ask yourself and be real with yourself, man. Right? Ask yourself, are any of these the creator? They claiming to be the creator God. The creator D, they're claiming it. Huh? They sure claiming it. Baal was a title and honorific meaning owner or lord. Really? Lord? Don't mean your grandmama just left church yesterday worshiping the Lord. How you know they ain't calling on Baal? How you know they ain't calling on Yahweh? How you know they ain't calling on El? All these are gods, historically speaking. False gods. They all sitting on thrones. All associated with the land of Canaan. But your boy Yahweh was associated with Edomites before the Israelites ever got to him in the land of Canaan. Remember, the deity told Moses at the burning bush, I would never known by Job or Yahweh. You know what I mean? To Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They knew me by El. That's Exodus 6:3. God Almighty, El Shaddai. They knew me by El. Dang, the land of Canaan, El. That's one of Canaan's gods. Good night. Good night. Good night, boy. I'm trying to tell you. Baal means Lord. You get into that book of Amos, he tell you there's a day coming, and the book of Hosea, there's a day coming where they ain't gonna call me Baal anymore. Dang, hold on. Yeah. This is supposed to be after Israel is delivered, so that day ain't even came yet. So who is Israel really calling on when they be talking about the Lord? What you y'all think I'm playing? Hold on, let me go ahead and show y'all that real quick. Because we heard. Let me go ahead and show y'all that real quick. We come right back there. That means Israel still calling on Baal. A multiplicity of these false gods. They all sitting on thrones, looking like men. Let me show y'all that, man. Millie mouth misfits be thinking I be playing. Ain't nobody playing a game. Nobody got none of this. You know what I mean? It's time for brothers to come on home. Just stop. You know what I mean? Stop being so superstitious. Just call it for what it is, man. Call it for what it is. Because, you know, they not your camp leader ain't gonna explain that to you. The camp leader ain't gonna explain that to you. We're going to the book of Hosea, the 2nd chapter. I'll show y'all this. This is prophecy. This is supposed to be after Israel is restored back to the land. Restoration of Israel. So if this ain't happened, then that means Israel is still calling on Baal. Still calling on Baal. In fact, let me put this in the record. Grab some numbers out of it. You know what I mean? Man, you got Baal sitting on his throne. And Baal means the Lord. Okay. What we even talking about then? Oh, wait. That ain't the Baal. I ain't saying that. The Lord we was calling on, listen to me. It's even Israelites named after Baal. Famous Israelites. Zerubbabel. So you even got Israelites naming their children after not just El, not just Yah or Yahweh, even Baal. You talking about these supposed to be righteous Israelites naming their children after these gods. You got El at the end and beginning of Israelite names who are righteous, supposedly. You got Yah, you're right, Yah. At the end and beginning of Israelite names was supposed to be righteous, and you even got Baal in their names. Y'all, all these are Canaanite gods. The Canaanite gods. All these are Canaanite gods. What are we talking about here? Let's read about the restoration of Israel, something that ain't happened yet. Look at that. Look what it says. It said, therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her. To her is Israel. Okay. And I will give her vineyards from thence and the valley of Achor for a door of hope, and she shall sing there as in the days of her youth, as in the day when she came up out of the land of Egypt. So this wilderness is not the wilderness that went down in Egypt. That's simple. This is a whole nother wilderness experience that Israel has yet to go through. Okay? Based off the biblical narrative. Verse 16. Look at this. And it shall be at that day, saith Yahweh, Yahuwah, the Lord, that you will call me Ishi, and shall call me no more who? Baali, Baal. Verse 17. For I will take away the names of Baalim out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. Whoa, hold on. This ain't happened yet. This ain't happened yet. 18 proves it ain't happened. And in that day will I make a covenant for them, Israel, with the east of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, and with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow, these are your weapons of war, and the sword, and the battle out of the earth, and will make them to lie down safely. They in Israel bombing right now. And if the Israelites or the so-called Black and Hispanic communities, those communities are at war too. So all the weapons of war have not been taken out of the earth yet, meaning this prophecy has not happened yet. Meaning Israel is still calling on who then? Baal. You still calling on Baal. Look at this. You'll call me no more Baali. Look, man, surgical with it. Stop playing with us. Stop playing with us. You know how to read the Hebrew, you know this is Baali, right? And Baali means what? What does it mean? My Lord. Hold on, girl. Hold on. My Lord. And look what it says. This is a deity in the northern kingdom, variation of the name Baal. Look at this. Baali from 1167, the pronoun suffix, my master, Baali, a symbolical name for who? That's your Yahweh. What they call Jehovah. Look at that. The false gods is playing with you. So Baal is a symbolic name for Yahweh. Good night. Good night. Good night. Hey, don't forget Exodus 6:3. I wasn't known by Yahweh to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I was known by El Shaddai. El. Do you mean to tell me Baal is a symbolic name for biblical God or Yahweh that Israel to this day calls on? Y'all understand that? Drop an 8,000 in the chat, man. I ain't making none of it up. Man, Baal is a symbolic name for Yahweh. But Baal is a deity in the northern kingdom. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, we know you can read Ephraim. I'm pardon y'all, so we know you can read. You feel me? It's just what brothers ain't figured out yet is the Bible is against itself. It contradicts itself. That's why we ain't got to do no arguing about it. All we got to do is go on point. Look at that. And then those who believe that the scriptures are infallible and they got to deal with it. We ain't got to deal with it. We don't got to defend it. We just provide what it says. You know what I mean? Everybody's got to deal with it. Now you can choose to try to make something that's square or circle. That's your prerogative. You know what I mean? Like you got so many scriptures that go against every perspective that brothers have. Any topic you pick. That's why, brother. That's why so many different doctrines. Why? Because no matter what topic you pick, there's scriptures on the opposite side. You feel me? Of where you stand at. And so, as an apologist, someone that wants to defend the Bible, your job is to lick your fingers and find as many precepts to try to make it make sense and explain away the contradiction. Those that are critical thinkers, you understand, got enough sense to be like, hey, look, that's a contradiction. Apples aren't oranges. You understand? Apples are not oranges. A square ain't a circle. And it ain't our job. That's your job. If you're an apologetic, your job is to try to make something that don't make sense make sense. For critical thinkers over here. You understand? If it don't make sense, you call it for what it is. It don't make sense. Baal, in the definition, is a symbolical name for Yahweh. Good night. Good night. Let's go back to, you know what I mean? There's all types of this, you know, it's a lot going on. Well, you gotta slow down. Slow down, you'll be like, whoa. Look at 17 again. It says, I will take away the names of Baalim out of her mouth. And this is supposed to be Yahweh or Jehovah talking, right? But Baal or Baali or Baalim is a symbolical name for Jehovah. So Baal is Yahweh. El is Yahweh. In history, they're separate deities, though. See, it's only when you get to the Bible it all gets thrown in the same pot of gumbo and served to you as if it's one. It's not. It's not. It's not. All right, now watch this. Baalim. Hold on, man. Good night. There we go again. Look at this, y'all. What does it say? It says Baal equal Lord. We just learned that. Supreme male divinity of the Phoenicians or Canaanites. The Canaanite gods. Your boy Saul even had a son named Ishbaal. Look it up. Saul, the first king of Israel. This nigga had a son named Ishbaal. Y'all know about Jonathan, his son, that was supposedly cool with David. But he had another son named Ishbaal, meaning man of Baal. All right. Baal is the female divinity of the Phoenicians or Canaanites. What are we talking about? Look at this. Baal, a Phoenician deity. Baal, plural, is Baalim. I know, man. I know. Let's get back to what we talking about here. All right. We showing all the gods of Canaan in the form and figure of men sitting on the throne. That's Baal right there, y'all. That's Uncle Baal. Hold on. We just found out that Baal is a symbolic name for Yahweh, biblical Yahweh. Come on, man. It's time to stop. It's time to come on home, man. Y'all, look, all my Israelite brothers and sisters, you want to sink in the ship. Don't be the twisted Israelite for life. We the real Israelites over this world. The Oralites, the fakers. Those who don't go to war, those who don't spill blood and eat lamb loin. Those who about righteousness, love, and good works done unto others is the only ways of resurrection and redemption in this world and the heavens. Those who tell you you better not kill your child and offer him up as a burnt offering if the wind skip across your earlobes with too much atmospheric pressure. You claim you got inspired by your God. We the ones telling you weapons down, that the Creator is not inspiring none of these wars y'all can't wait to kick off. Whether it's between Iran or Israel and the Palestinians, the Creator ain't got nothing to do with none of it. images of the false deities and gods that man has become. That's what's going on. We the ones telling you don't kill. Whether you talking about man or animal, stop killing. We the real Israelites. We follow the higher light, the higher law. You understand? What you all will call Torah, the higher Torah. Thou shalt not kill. We the real ones. You understand? Y'all are part of the Orthodox, but you're bloodthirsty, you're warmongers, you hate the other nation. We the ones telling you all people are the greatest people. You know what I mean? Righteousness, love, and good works is the only means to redemption. Not the blood of a lamb, not the blood of a bullock, not the blood of a man. We the ones telling you that Yahshua's death ain't got nothing to do with no Old Testament sacrifice. That he was murdered by black-hearted, urine-drinking bastards who was afraid of the Creator's light that was on him. Yeah, that part. You dig? Only with the slow road, showing you the Canaanite God. Also, again, Yahweh was associated with Edom before he got into the land of Canaan. He became associated with the Canaanites. So how you hate Edom and you worshiping a God he had first? How is it cursed be Canaan and you in his land, talking his language, calling on his gods, naming your children after his gods? Whether it's El, Yah, or Baal. I know. And now we just read even in the biblical dictionary, the concordance, that Baal is a symbolic name for your Yahweh. It's like that. All right, let's read it again. Back to the presentation. Baal was a title and honorific meaning owner or lord in the Northwest Semitic language spoken in the Levant or in antiquity. From its use among people, it came to be applied to God. So Baal is applied to God, El is applied to God. But all of these are actual Canaanite gods. Scholars previously associated the theonym with solar cults and with a variety of unrelated patron deities. But inscriptions have shown that the name Baal was particularly associated with the storm and fertility god Hadad and his local manifestations. The Hebrew Bible, the Tanakh, right? The Tanakh, right? The Torah, right? The Hebrew Bible includes use of the term in reference to various living time beings. So is this the Creator we talking about? Various living time beings. Don't forget, Yahweh is a living time deity. El is a living time deity. So is Baal, often with application toward a god who was described as a false god. That use was taken over into Christianity and Islam, sometimes under the form Beelzebub or Baalzebub in demonology. Religion. Night. The Ugaritic Baal is the protagonist of one of the longest surviving epics of the ancient Near East, the Baal cycle. I encourage all y'all to go read the Baal cycle. Get on Google, type in the Baal cycle. Get your mind blown. That's Canaanite literature. Going back to 1300 BCE, yes. So it was even Canaanite literature in the land of Canaan, describing their God. The title Baal was a synonym in some context of the Hebrew Adon, like Adonai, Lord, and Adonai, my Lord. We'll use as aliases of the Lord of Israel, who? Yahweh. Good Lord. Good night and good Lord. According to some scholars, the early Hebrews did use the names Baal and Baali, my Lord, in reference to the Lord of Israel. Bag drop. Bag drop. What are we even saying and what are we even talking about? So So the Bible dictionary tells you that Baal is a symbolic name for Yahweh, the Lord of Israel. And even history tells you this. Really. So a star tale, Asteroth, a false goddess, also known as Isis, or this Isis, a star tale, Asteroth, right? Wikipedia. What the hell is she sitting on? Hold on, bro. Even she has a throne that she's sitting on. Good night. If y'all get some understanding, drop a 12,000 in the chat. Give me a second, fam. Let's get it. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Just me. They from his ball sack. Here y'all go. Man, look. All right, so look at your girl. Look at your girl Asteroth, the goddess. Huh? I find it quite ironic that she sits on the throne too. When you really get the understanding, you get into this Oasis, you find out that was never the creator that cursed Israel and scattered you in the corners. Guess who it was? With this wide hip heifer right here. Yeah, it was in her war against Baal. Actually, it came to a point to where they got into it. He was jealous over Baal and his dominion. She decided to pump fake like she was the God that delivered Israel, you know what I mean, out of Egypt or Kemet. And she cursed Israel and scattered Israel in the corner. You know what I'm saying? You really got to get in this. Look, that old watch is a marvelous read. Because, look, the Creator don't curse. The Creator never put a curse on you, ever. True God, true goddesses never put a curse on you, ever. They're the sons and daughters of the Creator. They don't receive your prayers. They don't want you to worship them, none of that. They like, look, we just ancestors. Well, we had you gonna be one day. But the one that cursed you in Israelite blood was Deuteronomy 28, 15, 16. We've been cursed. Do you know that the heifer that cursed, the one that cursed you, is this swivel hip, mattress back heifer right here? Asteroth. She She want to curse you. She want to curse you. Here you go. Believing this whole time and putting a false jacket on the grave like he cursed you and scattered you in the corners. It was this heifer. It was her. Asteroth or Isis or what is it? Astarte, no, whatever you want to call it. Astarte. It's Asteroth. She's the one, through her jealousy of Baal and his dominion, decided to curse Israelites and pass them into the four corners of the earth. Yeah, it was never the creator. The creator is all love, man. The creator never throw his children into bondage and lock his children up. And all you got to do if you're a parent, even though you know your children go off at times, there's nothing they can do to have you throw them in, for you to send them through the worst conditions known to mankind. There's nothing your child can do to have you send them through the worst degradation ever known. Nah, bro. You gonna put that jacket on the creator. The greater curse, dog. Deuteronomy 28. That's how we know we Israel. So you know you an Israelite not through no blessings, through curses. And here you thinking the whole time it was the creator that cursed you. I love to bust your bubble on this one. Absolutely not. The creator don't curse. True God don't curse. For what? Gotta curse you. Ain't gotta get jealous. Ain't gotta get vindictive and angry and ain't gotta do none of that. This is the creator of suns, moons, and stars. You mean to tell me you regretted he made you and cursed you and threw you in the four corners and you done got castrated and raped and identity snatched, and you gonna throw this on the creator? Now, how about it was this mattress back heifer right here? Asteroth or Astarte. Sit on the throne. Hey, can I tell you? The one that scattered you is her. It's her. Man, what a relief to find out this ain't got nothing to do with your maker, man. Nothing. This ain't got nothing to do with your maker. Brother, love you. You're so special, you don't even understand it. You dig? But we've been slaves and been up under the unction of these false ass gods for so long, who at times war with themselves. They war with each other. And guess who suffers the blowback? Guess who are the victims of all this stuff? Now, ain't that something? Ain't that something? Shout out to my brother Malaki. Malaki reading, oh, he know. It's her. It ain't got nothing to do with the creator, the maker of God. I know. You getting mad. Look, I'll tell you something like that should be a relief. Like, oh man, that's what's up. And I thought it was always something different, man. Dang. You dig? Like, it should be a relief to know your creator ain't jealous, vindictive, hate every damn body. Ain't sanctioning none of these wars. Huh? Not in the form and figure of a man. Right? It should relieve you. Yeah, I always thought the creator was all powerful, all knowing, everywhere at once. I always knew it wasn't no image of the creator. I always knew this. Like, the stuff the creator gang bring out should bring relief to your mind and your soul. And you should be able to deflate out here. Huh? Because really what you're being held up under is the threat of your nuts roasting forever. Huh? The creator don't move in fear. He ain't gotta scare you to get down with him. Let me tell you something. Everything answers to your maker. Everything answers. It's only a matter of time. But even the false gods to this day depend on the creator for substance. What are you talking about? Nah, man. You've been running around here with a false disposition about your maker this whole time. And thus aligning yourself against the creator. You've been believing blasphemy. You've been a falsifier of his kingdom by believing the jargon, the spiritual jargon of these false ass gods and their religious devotees. Niggas get mad when you be like, hey, look, Brett don't even require no blood. You can get on good terms with him from a man or an animal. You would think people be like, man, that makes sense, bruh. Y'all, you gotta do what's correct what you messed up. You dig? Love your neighbors yourself. Right? These are the methods and means of resurrection. You would think people would be like, yeah, that makes sense. Do y'all know niggas get mad when we tell them this? My God is a man of war, a man of war, bloodthirsty, a warmonger. Y'all people would be relieved, like, man, that's what's up, man. I always thought, you know what I mean? I always thought something was up. I always thought, you know what I mean, something was up with that. It never made sense to me. You got people, man, I'm talking about this, pissed that you are correcting the matter about what they think about the Creator. And what you correcting the matter on, you bringing nothing but light to the table. You like, look, nah, Creator ain't never curse you and scatter you to the four winds. That was a false goddess that did that. Dang, who Asteroth? Dang, bro, let me read. Man, show me that. Come on, man. We got to be real with ourselves. You know what I mean? Let's get into some more of this. All right. So, Phoenician statue figurine of Asteroth. This is in Spain, right? And it says the Astarte is the Hellenized form of the ancient Near Eastern goddess Asteroth. Asteroth was the Northwest Semitic equivalent of the East Semitic goddess who? Ishtar. So this is the helper responsible for your Easter rituals. This is also Isis, y'all. Yeah. Look at this. Asteroth or Astarte was worshipped from the Bronze Age through classical antiquity, and her name is particularly associated with her worship in ancient Levant. All these deities are Levantine deities out the Levant, among who? Canaanites and Phoenicians. All these gods and goddesses were in Israel, in your land. These were the gods that declared war against the real Israelites, the faithists, us. Because we was like, nah, the Creator ain't in the form and figure of no man, no woman, no animal. Can't see the Creator. The Creator is everywhere, ever present. You feel me? And that threatens their worship because they're in the form and figures of men and women. And they're not everywhere at once. So it threatens their worship. Without worship, they have no power. So guess who they declare war against? Us. And guess what? The Creator's so marvelous, man. He got his angel ambassadors grabbing your spirit and soul up as soon as you cross over. You ain't left. See, that's the mercy of the Creator. He's so marvelous and merciful. My spirits aren't left to be slaves in these kingdoms, these heavenly kingdoms of these false gods. We about here. We about here. That's for y'all. Y'all gonna be worming on y'all belly and worming on your little wiener. I'm trying to get a look at the deity, not us. We up and out. We up and out of here. You dig? And continuing to progress and learn and advance. And you understand, and start learning to do greater works than what we read that Yeshua was doing. Absolutely. We about it. We ain't got nothing to worry about. Even if you kill this, you're actually doing us a favor. You understand? Because we up and out of here. No man's slave. No God's slave. No, she was originally associated with Amorite cities like Ugarit and Umar, as well as Mariah and Ebla. I know about the Ebla tablets. You know about the Ugaritic literature. There are Mara letters. Come on, man. All this is Canaanite literature. He was also celebrated in Egypt, especially during the reign of Ramses, following the importation of foreign culture. The Phoenicians introduced her cult in their colonies on the Iberian Peninsula. Look at this, y'all. Notice. Every last deity is in the form and figure of a mortal man sitting on a throne or some type of chair. It's the being known as God able to be seen. Is he ever present / omnipresent, or is he bound to one space at a time? Because if you're sitting on a chair like I am right now, this is where I'm at for a certain amount of time. I'm not where you at. I'm not ever present. If you can see me, right, and I'm sitting on a chair right now, then I ain't where you at, making me not ever present. There's only one that's ever present, and that's the Creator. You'll never be that. We'll never be ever present everywhere at once, within and without. We'll never be that. Right? And you got a form and figure. You just looked at yourself in the mirror this morning while you was brushing your teeth at your mama house. You're seen. You're not unseen. You have form and figure. Right? Come on. Meaning you're not everywhere at once. Wherever you at, that's where you're bound to until, you know what I mean? If you at work, you bound there until your shift is over. Right now, I'm sitting on the chair. I'm right here until the session is over. The class is over. It's simple. None of these deities we just looked at, y'all, are ever present. And all of them have a form. She even got the rest. All of them are in the form and figure of men. Mortals. So we got Asteroth, right? Sitting on the chair, on the throne. We got Baal in the form of a man sitting on the throne. He's not ever present. He ain't everywhere. Or my brother Daryl Cosmon said, he ain't ever present. His ass is present on that chair. Shout out to Daryl Cosmon. He never present. This nigga sitting down somewhere. This is Yahweh right here, Yahweh. Coin going back to the 4th century BC. He's not ever present. He's in the form and figure of a man. He's seen. He's not unseen. But his ass is present on that chair. Hold on. There go L. Right? He has form and figure. You can see him. Right? And he's bound on that chair for a certain space and time, but he's not ever present. And he can be seen, just like us. You see? So if it can be seen and is worship, it makes it a false god. No different than if you worship me. You better not worship me. Hail to the no. I'm never nobody to worship. Boy, you would have smelt what dropped out my rear end this morning that I dropped into that toilet. You know better than to ever worship Macabee. Hail to the no. Boy, you would have smelt I blew that toilet up this morning. You'd have knew better. No, watch me tell you what, that the Creator is without waste. You have waste. I have waste. He's without waste in space. Without waste. You can't. I don't waste nothing. What are you talking about? Fill it all place and space. What are we talking about here? Well, no, none of these, nothing that we've seen. You know what I mean? None of these gods that we went over, right, are ever present. They all have form and figure, meaning they can be seen. Form and figure is what, y'all? A man or a woman. There goes Osiris right there. And he's green in the form and figure of a man sitting on a throne. He's not ever present. He's in the judgment hall of Ma'at. He ain't in Canada right now. Come on, man. Come on. We gotta get past the foolishness. It's time to level up in our understanding. That's it. It's just time to level up. Right? And the understanding is clear. It's hard to understand it. Right? It's not even hard to understand that it is. We got Osiris as a man sitting on the throne. We got El as a man sitting on the throne. These are El and Yahweh are biblical gods. We got Yahweh or Yahweh in the form and figure of a man sitting on a throne with a wheel on it. We got Baal, Uncle Baal, sitting on a throne in the form and figure of a man. None of these are ever present. Omnipresent. No, they're not. They have form and figure, and they're sitting on a throne. And last but not least, we got your girl, this wide hip, mattress back heifer named Asteroth. You know what's wrong. So let's get into this right here. We're gonna read a few verses out the O and get out of here, all right? I'm still adding to this. I got so much more I'm gonna add to it. Yeah, but the ever-present creator versus a localized deity. Whom do you worship? Is your creator ever present, omnipresent? Or is your deity localized? That's an excellent question. You really need to dig down deep. And to be fair, there are verses in the Bible that allude to God being everywhere. You know what I mean? Verses in Jeremiah and Psalms and all that, absolutely. Right? But you can't have both. You can't be ever present and localized. You can't be ever present and unseen, but yet we see you. When we see you sitting on a throne somewhere, a chair. You understand? You can't be seen and unseen. You can't be ever present and localized. Either you're ever present, all powerful, all knowing, unseen, right? Or you're localized. You're not all powerful. You don't have all the knowledge. Huh? Come on now, which one is it? Either you're omnipotent, all powerful, or you're impotent, weak. Which one is it? The creator can't be impotent and omnipotent. Impotent means you're weak. Omnipotent means all powerful. So that's what I mean. You can't be both. Either you're all powerful or you're not. Okay? Either you're ever present, omnipresent, or you're not. Either you're all knowledge or there are things you're ignorant of. Now remember, this is supposed to be the one you worship. All right? So if you know that your maker is ever present, all powerful, all knowledge, the all in all, drop a 12,000 in the chat. All right? But if you believe your creator or maker is not ever present, localized, not all knowledge, not all powerful, drop a 12 in the chat. Can't be both though. Right? Either you're omnipresent, ever present, omnipotent, all powerful, and all knowledge. Omniscient, all knowledge. Or you're the opposite of that. Huh? You're not ever present, you're localized. You're not all powerful, you're impotent. You're not all knowledge, you're ignorant. Who do you worship? I'm going to tell you right now, omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, all knowledge. That's who I roll with. I roll with the creator, the God maker. So anything I read that's opposite of that, that's false. And I call it false. I don't believe my maker is weak, ignorant, and restricted to a chair somewhere. I know that ain't the creator. You understand? Now, if that's what you believe about your maker, then that's your prerogative. You understand? But that ain't how we roll over here. That ain't how we roll over here. Ever present, all powerful, all knowledge. Period. Anything that's read opposite of that is false. That's a false God. ever present, omnipotent, all knowledge, unseen. What is the opposite of ever present? He's localized. What's the opposite of omnipotent? Impotent. He's localized. What's the opposite of all knowledge? He's ignorant. What's the opposite of unseen? You can see that nigga. Or he been seen. What side of the ball you land on? That's your prerogative. The creator gang roll with the first that we were talking about. Ever present, all powerful, all knowledge, unseen. Take that to the bank with you. So anything we read opposite of that, that ain't the creator, the God maker. That's a false ass God. You dig? Huh? And he better steer clear of us. Okay, let me look at the chat real quick. Oh, okay, yeah. We all good. I see 12,000. Okay. Don't nobody believe that their maker, even if you don't believe what we saying, don't nobody believe that their maker is localized. Meaning not ever present. Impotent, not omnipotent. Ignorant, not all knowledge. And you can see them. Don't nobody believe that? Oh, cool. Should nobody be offended then? Nobody be offended. What we talking about? Should nobody be offended at what we bringing out then? Because again, I'm present, everywhere at the same time, all powerful, all knowledge, unseen. That's what we talking about. Now, with us saying that, nobody should be offended. Because you should already believe that about your maker. You should not believe, you should already know that about your maker. Good night, boy. Let's get into it. The ever-present creator versus the localized deity. Right? Who do you first? Source, dictionary.com. What is ever-present, Malachi? Always present. Always present. Always there. Ubiquitous. Omnipresent. So ever-present and omnipresent is the same thing. Why don't nobody just play on words? Don't let nobody play on your understanding. Okay? What is omnipresent, Malachi? Present in all places at all times. Anything wrong with that? Did I say something wrong? Okay, well, what is localized? What is localized, Malachi? What is localized? Transitive verb, what does it mean? It means to make local, orient local, to assign to or keep within a definite locality. You're like a city on a throne. Intransitive verb, to accumulate in or be restricted to a specific or limited area. What's a specific area? A throne. A throne. That's a specific area, right? Local, to be localized is not the same as being omnipresent. You can't have both. The creator's not localized. Okay? Should nobody be mad? Should no pastor be mad? Should no camp leader be mad? Huh? We just bringing a light. We just decoding it for you so you can understand. Dang, everything I'm reading ain't right then. Exactly. And your whole job this whole time was to try the spirit by the spirit anyway. Nah, that can't be the creator. He just asked him to offer up his son as a burnt offering. The creator would never do that. Never. Ever. Like, I don't even know what the hell you thought. Like, if you think the creator that created your son alive is going to turn around and tell you, chop his head off and offer him up as a burnt offering, because that's part of the burnt offering ritual. You got to chop the head of the victim off. That's just one part of it. And you got to do all types of other gory, horrific rituals for the corpse of the victim. See that? So no, the creator can't be ever present at once, or omnipresent and then localized, restricted to a specific or limited area. the specific limited area would be the throne we just saw all the gods sitting on. Every last one of them. Other than the spade. Finally, Malachi. Finally. Go to the book of Judgment, chapter 3. Book of Judgment, chapter 3. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to want to read more than what I got up here. So I'm going to go actually into this deal go hard too, boy. This deal go hard too, boy. Good night. Good night. Now this will be cool for right now. I got more on my ass to this doc. This doc go hard. I just gonna get to that spit real quick, man. The book of Judgment, chapter 3. Book of Judgment, chapter 3. And then we'll probably read one more after this, and then I'm gonna call it quits. You know what I mean? We making good time. You know what I mean? We only been on here 2.5 hours, so we looking good. We looking good. Shout out to the haters, y'all jackers and naysayers. Shout out to my brother. Look at Keanu McGee, my brethren. The word out. Love and light bombs to you. Big homie Nehemiah in the building. What's the word, big homie? Love and light bombs to you. Love and light bombs. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, let's get to the book of Judgment, chapter 3. We in that the most feared book in this earth, man. The most feared book in this earth. And you know why? It exposes the false gods everywhere. Chapter 3, book of Judgment. Like I said, y'all see the title, Exposing Idols, Idolaters, or Idolaters, and the Falsifiers of the Creator's Kingdoms. Look at this. Let's get some understanding now, man. Ain't good. It's a lot of mealy-mouthed misfits running around here fancying themselves as being angry or mad at us. Like we care. We don't care nothing about you being angry. So what? Chapter 3, book of Judgment. First, I charge you that whoever says God calls in vain. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Y'all see that? First, I charge you that whoever says God calls in vain. You wasting your time. Wasting your time. Right? I have not come to establish, but to abolish all gods, lords, and saviors among mortals. Oof. 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 What Creator say? What for what is past is past. That's back then. We supposed to be living in the now. But from this time forward, whoever hears my word and the decree of my commandment and continues to make an idol of any name except the Great Spirit blasphemes against his creator. Let it sink in. Let it sink in. It is. It is. It is. But whoever cries out in fullness of heart saying, God, meaning by that, the ever-present, the creator, is not a blasphemer before me. So the prayer, you can say God. Yeah, but what's in your mind? Is it the image of a man sitting on a church somewhere? Or do you know it ain't no image of the creator? The creator is ever-present. Well, if you saying God, but you mean the ever-present creator, furball. Yeah, furball, you good. Look how merciful the creator is. He destroys even all the arguments with the languages and what you say. You say God, go ahead. Right? You just better mean the ever-present creator. And understand this, the creator is not in the form and figure of a man sitting on a throne nowhere. You can't see the creator. The creator's unseen. Yet everywhere. Right? He's the only one in existence that applies to. We'll never be ever present. We'll never be unseen. You have an image. That you look yourself in the mirror every morning while you brushing your teeth. Yeah, this don't apply to you. So if you're saying God, but you mean, see, notice it come down to your intention. Greater judging that mind, your intention. What you mean when you say God, boy? I mean the ever-present creator, the God maker, not in the form and figure of a man sitting on a throne nowhere, not in the form of an animal, an angel, or a woman. Oh, that's verbal. You good there? See, we ain't got nothing to argue about at that point, right? Right? Because you already believe your creator is ever-present and not localized, omnipotent and not impotent. All knowledge and not ignorant, right? Unseen versus being seen. You already understand that. You already know that, right? No, there's nothing to argue about there. Look at this. Verse 11. Judgment 3:11. And whoever says or Maz means master light. Right? Over in Persian and further east, that's what they call the creator, or Maz. Look at it. And whoever says or Maz means the ever-present, the creator, not a blasphemer before me, because you got some people who worship a god named Master, or who are Master. An image in the form and figure of a man. That's worship. So you're like, no, you can say God, but as long as you mean the ever-present creator. Verbal. You can say or Maz, but as long as you mean the ever-present, the creator, you're not a blasphemer. You all good. Look at this. Verse 12. How marvelous the creator is, man. You're scared to even let certain words slip out your mouth. You know what I mean? Creator ain't tripping off none of that. Where your heart at? Where your mind at with this? Like, what's the mental picture you get? Right? And whoever calls any name in any language that signifies the ever-present, the creator, is not a blasphemer before. See that? Verse 13. Verse 13. Yeah, boy, surgical with it. Look at this. But whoever says Brahma, signifying a god in the figure and shape of a man, sitting on a throne in heaven, is a blasphemer against Yahweh, the ever-present, the creator. Yeah, so when you call on your God, you actually mean like that goofy Nick wrote to Zoya. When Selah asked him, you saying the creator sits on the throne? He said, that's what I said. The Most High sits on his throne. That boy down there started harmonizing and singing. So Selah was like, hold on, what? You saying the creator of suns, moons, and stars sits on the throne? He was like, let me show you how power works. The Most High sits on his throne. That boy down there started singing. Notice, boy, you a blasphemer against the ever-present creator. You done lost your mind. See, the Jehovah in Owazi is ever-present. He's not in the form and figure of a man. He's all knowledgeable, unseen, all powerful, not weak, all knowledge, not ignorant, ever-present, not sitting on a throne. Nah, boy, you got it backwards. You talking about a false god. Really? That boy down there started singing, boy. Nigga, that boy harmonized throne, Look at this. And whoever says Buddha, signifying a god in the figure and shape of a man, sitting on a throne in heaven, is a blasphemer against the creator, the ever-present. We find out today all that throne talk is blasphemy. That ain't the creator, that's a god we're talking about. True God sit on the throne too, absolutely. But he ain't worship. He ain't worship, he ain't prayed to. You see? The problem is the majority of the world, except the creator gang, except the faithists are worshiping a God that has a form and figure and they're sitting on a throne right now. That's the problem. And that makes your God false. That makes your God an idol. That makes your God localized. He's restricted to a certain space and place for a certain time. I know. Verse 15. Verse 15. And whoever says Christ, Christ, like today, you hear Christ on everybody's lips, damn it. And whoever says Christ, Christ, signifying a God in the figure and shape of a man, sitting on a throne in heaven. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. It's a blasphemer against the creator of all persons. Mm-hmm. We run around here in straight blasphemy, lying on the creator. Giving these false ass gods the jacket of the creator. No. You gotta lift that up. It's time to go back to the drawing board. You saying God sits on the throne, he's localized at this point. The creator is ever present, omnipresent, in all places at one time. It is. And whoever calls on the name of any other man or angel, worshiping such as a god. Jesus was a man and he was a god. Ask Vocab Malone. That nigga tell you Jesus is God. Mm-hmm. They tell you Jesus is God. He worships Jesus. Mm-hmm. Whoever calls on the name of any other man or angel worshiping such as a god is an idolater, an idolater in my sight. Dang. What's the name of the class? Exposing idols, idolaters, and the falsifiers of the Creator's kingdom. Look what the Creator says in verse 17. Nor do I judge them less idolatrous. Nor do I judge them less idolatrous than if they worship stone idols or graven images. Ball game, boy. Oh, you thought me just because you ain't carved up no image and said, okay, that's Jesus right there, that you not no idolater. You not no idolater. False. In your mind, you have an image of a man sitting on a throne, and that's who you worship. You're just as much of an idolater as the man and woman who worship stone idols or graven images. Say it again. If your God in your mind has form and figure, you're still arguing over if he got black skin and woolly hair or not, and he's sitting on a throne. Do y'all know that the Creator don't judge you no less idolatry as if you was worshiping stone idols or graven images? If y'all understand that, drop a 3,000 in the chat. You're not playing. Drop a 3,000 in the chat if y'all understand that. You're just as much of an idolater as the one who worships stone idols and graven images. All because you got an image of God sitting on a throne in heaven, and when you call on God, that's the image that's in your mind. You're an idolater and a blasphemer against the Creator. Good night. Good night. Look at this. I know there's gonna be plenty of people foaming at the mouth, ready to spill their coffee, spill their yak. Verse 18. Whoever says deity and divinity, I be hearing, oh, I worship the divine. I worship the universe. I'm like, look, Bobo, the universe is a creation. But come on now, it's time to get past all the spiritual gurus who sold you a spiritual package on how to decalcify your pineal gland 3 years ago. You still talking, they ain't even talking it no more. Have y'all noticed all the spiritual gurus have all but disappeared? It was Nick Rose telling the spirit years ago, promising you that you was gonna decalcify your damn pineal gland if you slept with stones in your pillow. Have y'all noticed that all these Negroes have all but disappeared? They're not even talking like y'all talking no more. Oh, I worship the universe. Look, Bobo. The universe is a creation. It's not the Creator. Yeah, I know. Negroes been out here selling spirit to you. Selling spirit to you. Whoever says deity, and divinity, and divine law and natural law are adjudged to be in darkness. Look what Creator say. For I proclaim my heavens open and the way of understanding clear. The Creator is ever present and does by virtue of his presence, not by any law or Torah. Bag drop, boy. Bag drop, boy. Meaning it crack off because the Creator's there right now with you. Right now with all of us. Everywhere at once. That's why you got life. That's why creation moves under the same rules and vibrations as then moving, because the presence of the Creator is everywhere. That's why. Ain't no divine law, no natural law, and all this worshiping the universe madness y'all talking about. Y'all got played. 3-4 years ago, all these niggas was selling spirit. All of them. You got played. No, talking about you worship the damn universe. What the hell is wrong with you? The universe is a creation, Bobo. Come on, man. We gotta do better. And we gonna do better. You know what I mean? We gonna do better. Look at this. Notice, if you hold an image in your mind about who is called God in the form and figure of a man sitting on a throne, it is idolatry and blasphemy against the ever-present Creator. The Great Spirit is everywhere at the same time and yet unseen, not in the form and figure of a man. Not in the form and figure of a man. See that? Right here. We're gonna continue reading this. I'm gonna jump over into the we're gonna go to Judgment 3:21. See? It's the gang that swung through and brought up the understanding. You understand? It's the gang that swung through and gave y'all the difference and the distinction between the Creator and the gods and the lords and all that. Most of y'all say y'all praise and worship the Lord. Y'all don't even know that a Lord is the lowest rank of the Creator's commissioned gods. You over here calling the Lord the most high. No, the Lord is the most low. He's the lowest of the rank of the Creator's commissioned God. A Lord. You ain't supposed to be worshiping the Lord either. We read earlier that Lord also means Baal. It shows you a picture of Baal sitting on his throne. Let's finish off this Judgment 3. Because, man, this dude is like steel. I ain't gonna lie to you. I see why, man. Look. And whoever says that which will lead men to believe he is not present, or that he has gone away, leaving certain laws, Torah, after him in his place, the same is a judge, a blasphemer against the Creator. And whoever says call on this Savior or call on that Savior, and your sin shall be forgiven you. Sound familiar? And in the hour of your death, because you have so called on him, you shall ascend into a heavenly paradise. The same is a falsifier of my kingdom and a blasphemer against the Creator. All game, boy. Bag drop, because that's the whole system in order of who you call Jesus. Hey, y'all, look, this be real. We all know they created a God, starting with these ecumenical councils in Christianity. We all know this. We all know this. We all know that who appeared to Constantine at the Battle of Milvian Bridge in 330 AD is not the historical Yahshua. We all know this. We all know this already. It is not the real Yeshua, the son of the Creator, who had so much light on him that they murdered him. If we all know that ain't him who Constantine said he all of a sudden out of nowhere followed, then y'all guess what that's saying? That's saying they created a God named Jesus Christ. And to this day, the world worships him. And you run around here worshiping and serving him. not knowing what? The same as a falsifier of my kingdom. And a blasphemer against the Creator. Look at that. Shout out to the real Yahshua, man. Did a marvelous work for the Creator. Marvelous work. But he was never to be worshipped. Never to be prayed to. He's a man. He was a great man nonetheless, but he was a man. He came to the womb of a woman like you, had morning breath, farted, had a range of emotions. You dig? Had brothers and sisters just like you. Yeah. He just made that light look marvelous, man. He did his thing with it. And the Creator, the Creator did what? As soon as they murdered him, he said, go grab my boy and bring him to prayer. That's my boy. Yeah, did marvelous work for the Creator, but he was never to be worshipped and prayed to. You're a falsifier of the Creator's kingdoms. A blasphemer against the Creator. But if that's what you choose to believe, guess what? That's your prerogative. You'll find out either now or later it's false. And guess where you're going to be at? Right over here with us. Verse 23. And whoever says, come before the church and the priests and make prayers and confessions, and you shall be absolved and forgiven your sins. The same are falsifiers of my kingdom and blasphemers against Jehovah, the Creator. Here you go in the Catholic Church. And even in some Christian churches, Kojic, Church of God in Christ, make you come up to the front of the church and I've seen the saints. Me and my fiance had loin warfare before we got married, and I said I do. I remember a Negro did that in church when we was little. He came up to the front of the church and had crocodile tears on him. And even as a youngin', I was like, what's the problem? Ain't that this Gail already? Like, what's this deal? He's killing everybody. You know what I mean? He done knocked her hip joints loose. Her hip bones loose. That's your business. What the hell is you telling us for? But yeah, I remember a Negro did that when we was young, man. I look in my spirit, I knew that was off. I knew I would never do that. I would never come up in front of her telling y'all I just knocked her hip bones loose. It was some loin warfare going on. I knew then as a child that was wrong. As a young adolescent teenager, I knew that was wrong. I was like, what the hell is wrong with him? You know, he's telling everybody fuck. He done knocked his fiancé hip bones loose, her joints loose, and you run up here and start crying in front of everybody. I ain't get it then. I know why not. You know what I mean? Verse 24. Nor have I provided resurrection in this world or in my heavens above, except by good works done to others. That's it. And this is serving the Creator. You serve the Creator. Get out there and do great and marvelous works for the next man, woman, and child. That's how you worship and serve the Creator. See that? It ain't about this is my body, this is my blood. It ain't about lamb blood over your doorpost. It ain't about you running up in front of the church talking about you can knock your hip joints loose. Nah. Ain't no resurrection in this world or in the heavens above, except by good works done to us. And this is serving the Creator, the all-purpose. And not because of any worship or confession done before any of the idols on earth or in heaven. Come on, man. Practical. Makes sense. You want to increase your spiritual vibration. You know what I mean? You want to increase your spiritual grade and all that. Get outside and do something good with somebody. That's it. Look at this. Nor is there any redemption in heaven to the Brahmins, Buddhists, Christians, or Mohammedans because of their prayers and confessions. You ain't getting redeemed because of that. But wherever good works have resulted in affiliation, Create a gang, baby. You know what I mean? Brotherhood. You becoming unified, coming together. You dig? That's one thing the Israelite camps got right. You know what I mean? Come together, man. You dig? Y'all just up under the God spell. It's to a false God, so it's null and void anyway. What I'm saying is the whole order of brotherhood. You know, brothers coming together, sisters coming together in different states. And, you know what I mean? Up under one banner and all that. That's how we go be. You know what I mean? No one would have said, but wherever good works have resulted in affiliation and in lifting the people up out of misery and crime, same as a judge as worship of the great spirit of creation. That ain't hard, man. Get out there and do these good works. And we supposed to be bringing remedies to the streets. We supposed to be eliminating crime and misery. This is the system and order y'all got going on. Hey, that's the worship of the great spirit, because there's good works done in the other. Simple. They ain't even hard. They ain't even hard. You know what I mean? This stuff go hard too, man. Let me jump down here. Right here. Verse 30. And y'all, this is that book of Judgment, chapter 3, out that speed, sky, earth, spirit, body blow. Wherever the Christians have let a people fall from knowledge into ignorance, or from virtue into vice, my judgment is against them. Yeah. So all you so-called Southern Baptist slave masters, so-called white folk, back in the old 1800s, early 1900s, who were keeping brothers and sisters back and gaining knowledge and keeping us in ignorance. Greatest judgment is against all that. Greatest judgment is against you, leaders of you Arab countries who keep your people in ignorance. Who keep your people in vices and don't promote knowledge and virtue. Greatest against all y'all. Wherever the Mohammedans have let a people fall from knowledge into ignorance, or from virtue into vice, my judgment is against them. Or beggary, vagrancy, and all manner of darkness have increased in any other city or country of any of these idolaters. My judgment is against them. Dang. And here you go bragging about you. Nigga, I live in the murder capital of the world. You live where the judgment of the Creator is against. He done called his exalted angels away from that place. Look at this. Look at this. They should not excuse themselves nor escape my judgment by saying, oh, the true Brahmin, or the true Buddhist, or the true Christian, or the true Mohammedan is not fallen. These who fail were those who did not embrace our doctrine in fullness of heart. Look what he say. Look what he say. Because my judgment is also against impotency. Because the Creator is all powerful. He's omnipotent, not impotent. My judgment is against that. What you mean you the true Christian? What you mean you the true Mohammedan? Oh, that ain't me. That ain't us. That's them over there. Because my judgment is also against impotency. They have tried their respective religions for hundreds of years, and they have not raised up one city of righteous people. They ain't raised up one city of righteous people. Think about it. What's the capital of Christianity? The Vatican. Vatican City. Full of PDFs. Full of PDFs. What's supposed to be the capital of quote-unquote Judaism? Jerusalem. The land of Israel. Full of PDF and men and assless chaps. Oh, you know, well, America, you know, Judeo-Christian morals and all that. Full of war. Full of PDFs. Full of darkness. You ain't raised up not one righteous city since you've been practicing all these so-called religions. Not one righteous city. Look at it. And for that reason, I've come to put these doctrines away and give them that which shall prove itself strong, potent in all the world. And put all that away, all these so-called religions. You understand? It's all impotent. Hell, you done had thousands of years to raise up righteous men and women, righteous cities. And you mean to tell me since the start of Christianity, not a one righteous city has been raised up? Huh? It's time to put it away then. It's time to put it away. It's impotent. It's weak. That which I proclaim shall be proclaimed by the angels of the second resurrection, all nations of people. Yes, Jesus is an idol. Absolutely. Absolutely. Made up God. Huh? Shout out to the real Yahshua. My light is not the one people only. You see how marvelous creator he is. My light is not the one people only, except to the righteous. Who serve the creator by doing good to all men. In my sight, the nations of the divisions of the earth are as one people only. Who? Brother and sister. No. But not over there in your doctrine. You say the creator hates the other nations. Can't wait to enslave them under Israel. See the difference? Job over this way, niggas don't act like the Jehovah over there in the Bible. That's the only way you can differentiate. The Jehovah over here is the creator, ever present, and everywhere at once, unseen, not in form and figure of a man, omnipotent, all powerful, and all knowledge. Meaning he's not the opposite of that at all, and can never be. You can't be the opposite of omnipotent. That's all powerful. The opposite of omnipotent is weakness. He just said his judgment is against being impotent. He can't be the opposite of all knowledge. The opposite of all knowledge is that means he's ignorant. He's without knowledge in some substance. No, that ain't the creator. He can't be the opposite of omnipresent or ever present. That means he's localized, restricted to a certain space and place, like a throne. And he can't be the opposite of unclean. That means you see him. Right? So over this way, all the people, all the nations, and all the divisions of the earth are as one people only, brothers and sisters. If that resonates with your soul, give me a 9,000 in the chat. I'm gonna play with you. I'm gonna act like we're talking about the same things. We're not. Look at it. Look at this. I take from all of them their idols, their gods, and I give them a greater, even the creator. Ooh, that's what we're to do. We're to declare his ever presence to you. You dig? Melt your little makeshift deity and bring you on to the light of the creator. Ain't nothing evil about what we're talking about. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? The way it come off makes joy your spirit a little taste. You be all right, though. You be all right. Okay, for sure you be all right. You understand? Because there's only one way to talk to a people that are in a spiritual slumber. They can't talk to you like, wakey, eggs and bacon. They ain't talk to no Israelite like that. You'll get laughed out the house. Boy, you better open up your mouth and roar with some authority and act like you know what you're talking about. And give less than a damn about the looks on somebody's face. So what? There ain't no other way to wake these people who have been in a spiritual slumber, and there ain't no way to wake up all people. We all been victims of these false gods. The only way to wake these jokers up out their sleep is to turn the light up. That's it. But you can't come over here talking about some wakey, eggs and bacon. Nah, and that's not light. Nobody finna wake up you coming around here all politically correct and soothing in your speech and using your inside voice. No, you better let these cats know what time it is out here. You up under the unction of a false god who's looking to enslave your soul when you cross over. That's the business. Dang, brother. Man, you had to say it like that? Absolutely. Because you wouldn't have heard me no other way. You wouldn't have heard me no other way. Huh? I got to press play with you. I got to get out there and play ball with you for you to respect what it is. Okay, well, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. I take from all of them their idols, their gods, but I give them a greater, even a greater. I say to them, I permitted my children to have idols. But now that you are men, see, you run around here as a spiritual baby. Now that you are men, put away your idols and accept Jehovah. You're the creator of all. The God maker, boy. You're men now. You're women now. You're grown. You should not be running around here as a grown man or woman talking about you a spiritual baby. I know men that say that to this day. Been in what they call truth for 30 plus years, still calling themselves babies. Nah, it's time to be men. All right, you a man or you a boy? All right, it's time to put all that away and accept your creator, man. Straight up. Look at this. Look at this. Nor shall any man say anymore, I worship the Brahmin principle, or the Buddhist principle, or the Tayuan principle, or the Christian principle, or the Muhammad principle, the Muhammadan principle. You hear that a lot today. You know what I mean? Christ consciousness, Christ consciousness, Sufism, But all of these have proved themselves to result in war and destruction. Look, leave that jargon over there. Ain't none of that. Ain't none of that. It's creator only. What you mean? Huh? None of them have faith in the creator, but faith in their armies of soldiers and in their weapons of death. Boy. Not marvelous your creator is, man. But I get all people, one principle on, which is to serve the creator. This is broad enough for the redemption and resurrection of all men. All men. And I will have none other. Ain't no other principle. Don't come around here talking about Christ consciousness and whatever the hell you talking. No. All these result in war. They ain't raised up one righteous city since they've been talking about all this. Since all these religions been formed for thousands of years, not one righteous city has been raised up. All of these doctrines have been proved to result in war. And the only principle you need is your creator. And this is broad enough for the redemption and resurrection of all men. And the creator ain't having none else. Okay? Seek, O man, to believe in the all person who is ever present, whose eye is upon you, whose ear hears you. But he is the all one, who is the password to the highest of heaven. Woo! 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 Look at you. Watch this. Watch this. Gang, what you think? Playing? Look at this. And you may call on your idol with the gates of my heaven. The gate shall not be open to you. You over there still got these false gods on your breath. Over here with that demon throat, that idol throat. Yeah, you can call all you want, you ain't getting in it. You can call all you want, you gonna be outside like the men surrounding New Jerusalem and assless chaps. Yeah. But the gate shall not be open to you. I will have no quarrel. I will have no fight in my exalted kingdoms in heaven as to gods and lords and saviors. That don't roll her. You will wash clean of them, coming in spotless, white, a servant of the Most High. You cannot withstand the light of my kingdom in heaven. That idol worship That idol worship makes it so you can't even withstand the light of the Creator's kingdom. Huh? Having all that fallen throat on you. Huh? Having that demon and idol throat on you. You can't even withstand the light of the Creator's kingdom. You gotta go. He ain't accepting none of that. No, you pronounce it like this. It's Yahuwah. It's Yahweh. It's a higher. Yeah, and hey, look, you better get up out of here with that your breath stank. You can't even withstand the light of his kingdom. You watch clean up. Huh? You cannot withstand the light of my kingdom in heaven. It is where. But guess what you gonna do? You shall return the spirit to the earth and abide, dwell in the church and temple of your chosen God. That's where you're gonna be at. You ain't coming to the kingdom with an S of the Creator. No, you still arguing over if Jesus is black or not. Yeah, that's low hanging fruit. You gotta go back to the ISUPK in Harlem and live up in your school. Huh? You gotta go to Nathaniel Ray's IUIC church in New York. Hey, you better stay the hell out of Nigeria because they damn near killed them boys last week. Shooting tear gas. You gotta go back to your chosen church or temple of your God if you over here, if you cross over and still arguing about your deity. Huh? But you shall return the spirit to the earth and abide in the church and temple of your chosen God, wandering about, stubborn as a heart, a prey to drudges, demons, vampires, other angels of darkness. Have faith, O man, in him who created you alive. About him there can be no mistake. Glorify him by righteous words. Having faith that even as he brought you into life, so will he provide for you according to your just desert. Good night, boy. Good night. Y'all got some understanding today. Y'all spend that vortex up in the chat. It's your little brother Malaki Macabee, Megaton Light Bomb in the building. Megaton Light Bomb in the building. I remember breaking down crying at work when I realized the work has been the Holy Spirit and Jesus was idolatry. Yes. 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 Make your covenant with the Creator daily. Escape the toils of these false gods. Make your covenant daily. You say to you only do I covenant, Creator. And I will never see you as I see a man, woman, angel, or animal. I can see you every day in the glory of your works. This faith in mine, I shall cross over and die fearless. Any pretended Lord God or Savior comes demanding worship, I will know for surety that they are false. Let's go over real quick before I get out of here. How do you escape the toils of the false gods? So a lot of us have made covenants with them. You got to break the covenant. How do you do that, Malachi? Open up your mouth and renounce these thoughts. Make your covenant with the Creator. That's how. That's how. Well, and look, again, it's all practical, so we're about to show you. All right? It's all practical, so we're going to show you. That's a good one, too. We're in the book of Sapphira, the degree of the golden chamber. I'm gonna read a little bit of this and we're gonna get out. I'm gonna get out of here. I got some work I gotta do. But I always love doing this. I love getting on her chopping it up with y'all, man. What we do. This is what the gang do. Shout out to the CGG, man. All my brothers and sisters. Y'all just don't know, man. Y'all just don't know. It's marvelous how the Creator put us all together. It's marvelous, man. You dig? And everybody that was against us, you dig? They all got the boo-boo mouth now. They all got the boo-boo mouth. They never expected complete strangers to unite like Voltron and come back, boy, like a 5-mile wide vortex. And just firing, bringing so much light and just taking the heads of these beings, boy. So much so you can't even say nothing against it. You only bring emotion out. And you only can bring emotion out. You ain't got no higher light than us. So I thank the Creator, man. I wouldn't trade y'all for the world, man. And that's coming from a brother that had over 200 brothers in the streets of St. Louis. Over 200. In St. Louis now, we down to 3. It did. So I just been meditating and reflecting lately over the past 4 years. We've been rocking out like 4 years now, and I don't know, man. I just been in a spirit of gratitude. Yeah, cause I mean, look, it ain't easy to be going. I took all that for granted. The old brotherhood and all that. I just thought it was normal. Big, but man, when that light of the Creator came, it revealed who was solid and who wasn't, and who really all this time really had a deep, dark hatred for me. You know what I mean? Like I see it now. I couldn't see it. You know what I mean? I couldn't even see it. I mean, my girl, you'd be like, man, I'm thinking jealous of me for what? At the time, y'all, I didn't even have a car. Nigga, I didn't even have a car to drive at the time. You know what I mean? What the hell was a nigga jealous of me for? You know, I'm living in an apartment. Man, I'm living in an apartment, man, that ain't even, I don't even think it was 1,000 square feet. I'm living in a small apartment. I don't even got a car at the time. You dig? And I remember she used to tell me, like, nigga jealous of me. I couldn't see it. How would you think? Why? I don't got nothing. It ain't that. It ain't that. You know what I mean? With your spirit lit, boy. You dig? You got something a nigga can't go buy with no money. You know what I mean? I never could see it until after, you know, hindsight 2020, man. You know what I mean? Hindsight 2020. And you always see better once you pass a situation. You dig? And man, I wouldn't trade y'all for the world. Believe that? For the world, Jack. And I may get on y'all nerves sometimes, like I do. I get on everybody's nerves, but you know what I mean? You got a brother for life and after. So and after, believe that. You know what I mean? Now, one thing I'm gonna do is press play on it. Now you around me, you good. All right, so look at this right here. This is Sapphire, Book of Sapphire in Old Washington. The Greek of the Golden Chamber. The or M-Hawk, and just scroll all the way down to the AA section. All right. Now, so it's a question and answer situation. Let's say, question: what is an idol? Answer: anything having form and figure that is worshipped. Question: who is God? Answer: a spirit with a heavenly throne, believed by people in darkness. The creator of all things. Ball game, boy. Ball game. You ain't got to forget the creator sits on the throne, and you know God sits on the throne. And if you believe that God is the creator, you're in darkness. Who is God? A spirit with a heavenly throne, believed by people in darkness to be the creator of all things. Familiar spirits often call themselves God and taught mortals to call them that also. Dang! So it's familiar spirits that taught man to believe that the creator is a God sitting on the throne. Now, true God does sit on the throne, he ain't worshiped. And he's not the creator. He tell you ain't the creator. True God praises the creator. All right? So God is the spirit with a heavenly throne, believed by people in darkness, like Cesar Yak and them, vocab alone, to be the creator of all things. Question: but who are savior? My Lord and personal Savior, Jesus Christ, right? Who are saviors? Familiar spirits. Saviors are familiar spirits who have kingdoms in the atmosphere, right above your head, right? Which by the ancients was called the lower heaven. Saviors are tyrants who make slaves of other spirits, who believe in them. Their slaves are sent back to mortals as guardian angels or familiars in order to make slaves of mortals after death. The augment the Savior's kingdom and atmosphere. Now, this is where I wanted to go, so we can understand, okay? Because when we're hearing all this God and Lord and Savior talk, false God, how do you escape that? Right? It's all practical over this way. How do you escape that? Look, and start applying this daily. You want to know how to escape the clutches of these false ass gods? Listen. How can a man escape the toils of false lords, gods, saviors, and familiars? Answer. He shall covenant with the Creator every day of his life. And serve him by doing good works to others with all his wisdom and strength. Step one. Covenant with your Creator by serving others, doing good works to others with all your wisdom and strength. Step two. Nor shall he call in prayer on the name of a Savior or God or any other spirit, but on the great spirit only. Step two, stop praying to these false ass gods. Covenant with the Creator. Step one, by serving him, by doing good works to others with all your strength and wisdom. Step two, stop praying to these gods. Get them out your mouth. Only pray to the great spirit, your Creator. That's it. Right? If you do this, and you eschew, you avoid contention, war, leadership, earthly gain, and earthly aggrandizement, then Ethereal angels, the high raised brothers and sisters, that's above the atmosphere. Ethereal angels will come and guard him in the name of the Creator. All game, boy. You want to know how to escape their clutches? Do that. Do that right there every day of your life. Every day of your life. Right? And the last one is who are Ethereal? So you know who coming to guard you in the name of the Creator. That's why I be telling these cats, you don't got nothing of no higher authority spewing off your mouth. Talking about you trying to curse us. To no avail. To no avail. We render powerless, motionless, and fruitless in the name of the great spirit. And we expose all you false ass gods and dark spirits to the light of the ever-present Creator. You gonna get this light. And you want to depart on your own accord, but you ain't got no authority over none of us. No power, no fruit, no motion. None. We don't accept you. Look at this. Well, who are the Ethereal? Spirits who have risen above the bondage of the earth and its atmosphere. Spirits who can come only the mortals who have attained beyond earthly desire. Hear that? Ooh-wee. 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 That's it for today, y'all. You know what I mean? Lay y'all through. You already know. That's right. Nehemiah, big homie, still 10 toes down. You one of the three. You one of the three, brother. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. 10 toes down, brother. You know, I salute you. I don't take your brotherhood and friendship for granted, bro. Look at that. I'm Brother Fritz. What's the word out? Look at Key. On God. On God. Yeah. No doubt, man. But look, man, if y'all got some understanding today, spend them vortices up in the chat. It's your brother Malaki Macabee. I'm about to get up out of here. You know what I mean? Love and light bombs to everybody. You know, y'all get on out there and do something good for somebody today, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Shit, create a gang that don't bang. Yeah, create a gang that don't bang. How about that? All right, you gonna get this light. So nobody said you gonna get this light. All right? All Alright, I see y'all. I see everybody got voices in the chat. We looking good. We looking marvelous. You know what I mean? Turn this music up a little taste. All right, to the cosmos, baby. Love and light bomb to the entire chat. Little brother Malaki Macabee. And you know, I get on out there and do something good for somebody, man. Pray to love every last one of y'all. Do something marvelous today. You dig? And make your covenant with prayer every day, man. Escape the towards the false ass God. Yeah, that's what time it is. Towards the false gods, doing righteous works on the other. Stop praying to him. Huh? And eschew war and contention, leadership, self-aggrandizement. When you do this, the angels come and holler at you to guard you. Till next time, man. I'm out of here. Love and light bomb.